Today on Dr. Phil.
I admitted to having an affair. There was no sex in our marriage. She just kept pushing me away.
So this is her fault?
Primarily, yes.
It's her fault that you went outside the marriage.
That's correct.
A marriage with serious problems.
What it's come down to is me or his girlfriend.
Why are you waiting for him to decide what's going to happen in your life?
And a mistress
The person I'm having the affair with
something extra.
is a transgender woman.
It's disgusting to me.
Now,
It's an abomination. It's not natural.
a wife faces her husband's lover.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
I don't want to, sweetheart. I don't want to.
We've never had a love triangle quite like this. Let's do it. If we're going to do something here that matters, then we got to deal with the truth.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, free. Take it.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. We've done a lot of love triangles, and infidelity is a hot button topic. It has been on this show because it is in this country. We deal with what the viewers write to us about. But in all of my time doing this show, we've never had a love triangle quite like the one we have today. Now, Tracy and Doug have been married 23 years. They were high school sweethearts. They have a beautiful family. They have respectable jobs. He's a cab driver in New York. She's a legal assistant for a big law firm. Like all couples, Tracy and Doug have had their fair share of ups and downs. What's happening now is most unusual. Take a look.
Doug and I have known each other since we've been teenagers. When I first met Doug, he seemed like he was the one.
Tracy was my world from the get-go.
The room lit up when he walked into it. After being married for 15 years, we started to actually have problems.
There was no sex in our marriage.
About a year ago, I found a text message that said, "Calm down, Dougie Bear. I still love you." I confronted him, and I actually said, "What the is this?"
I admitted to having an affair.
It was very devastating.
There's more to the story than just having an affair. The person I'm having the affair with is a transgender woman. I'm very much in love with her.
It's disgusting to me. It's upsetting. It's disgusting.
My girlfriend, Essence, was born a man but identifies herself as a woman. Tracy was very upset when she found out I was seeing a transgender woman.
Horrified's a good word to use. How else can you describe something like that? It's bad enough if he was having an affair with a girl next door, but it's like an abomination. It's not natural in my world. It's absolutely not.
I didn't care that she felt that it was repulsive. Tracy wanted to throw me out. She didn't feel that I was the man she married anymore.
I feel upset, I'm hurt, I feel betrayed, I'm angry.
I've known Essence for over a year now. Essence is, to me, the girl that I've always wanted. She treats me like I've never been treated. I just feel like a man when I'm around her. This gives me a lot of affection. It's an all-around good feeling that I haven't had in so long.
When I think about the relationship they're having, it's disgusting to me. It's upsetting. I can't understand it.
If Tracy had only given me more attention and communicated with me more, this probably would have never happened.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to meet y'all, but I'm sorry that you're in conflict here in the marriage. You just heard for the first time him say what?
He just said that that's the person that he's always wanted. That's the kind of person that he's always wanted.
Have you been lying to her?
Yes, I have.
You've been lying by omission as well as telling her things that, affirmatively telling her things that weren't true.
That's correct.
Do you love this woman?
Yes, I do. But I'm just not in love with her like I used to be.
Were you in love with her when you married her?
Yes, I was.
Were you romantically in love with her when you married her?
Very much so.
So you wanted to be with her, you wanted to marry her?
That was it. She was the one.
Why have you lied to her all this time? If this was the way you felt, if you wanted something different, why have you lied to her? Why not just tell her?
Because I didn't want to see her hurt. I didn't want to see her hurt.
Well, how long have y'all been together?
24 years. So we'll be married 23 years.
24 years. If you have kept her engaged in this relationship for 24 years under false pretenses, how is it that you don't want to hurt her? That's 24 years of her life she can't get back. That's 24 years of her life that she's been living a lie. What, I mean, how is that protecting her?
This just didn't all come up. I mean, it just came up about 5 years ago. Before that, I had no reason to look outside of the marriage.
So what happened 5 years ago that you said, okay, I've got to turn away from my partner and go somewhere else?
No attention, no communication, and I tried to explain it to her over and over, and she just kept pushing me away.
So this is her fault?
Primarily, yes.
Really?
Yes.
It's her fault that you went outside the marriage?
That's correct.
Tell me how that works.
How many times have I told you enough or I'm going to seek out?
He did tell me that. It's true. He did say that. But I also shut down because what were you doing? You know, you were spending time with other people, taking time away from the family. He started working out. He lost a lot of weight. He started to socialize more. He started taking time to work out with other women. We would be out together at a casual lunch, and he'd be talking to them, joking on the phone. You know, so all this, it's such a buildup of emotion and things that had occurred. I just started to shut down because I felt like he was spending all this time and giving all this attention to other people, not to mention all the times that you're sitting on computers, talking to people that you shouldn't have been talking to. I would find pictures of men's body parts, and he'd say, I'm just open sexually. I'm just looking at this stuff. There's nothing to it.
But I've never found a reason to look outside of the marriage for some of my interests because I was perfectly content at home.
But you weren't, if you were going to porn stores all the time, you weren't content
When did
at
I
home.
start going to porn
that.
stores?
You've
When
been
did
doing
I
this
start?
forever,
When the
Doug. You've been
problem
doing it for a
started.
long
When the
time.
problem started, I started seeking out more. Simply, I felt
well-
at that time that's what I wanted to do, to make me feel content.
So you have no remorse at all. This is her fault.
Well,
You said yes,
I'm
it is.
sorry for what I've done, but I wouldn't have went outside of the marriage if I was being satisfied at home. Not only sexually, but emotionally. She told me she hated me.
Yeah, because
She
you weren't
told me-
satisfying
she
me emotionally.
She
You
told me she
withdrew.
hated me. She told me repetitively that she didn't love me. That go get a girlfriend. I don't want to touch you. That's it.
And leave. Not get a girlfriend and stay. And I'm doing your laundry
And wait a
I'm
minute.
paying bills, and you're taking my money to take them out.
And
Because
leave.
they don't work for a living, and I'm responsible, and I'm working.
Do you understand?
And I'm taking care of kids. So my son is home every night asking where you are, and how do I explain what you're doing? You withdrew from all of us. Why do you think I don't like and respect this woman? It's not because of what they are, it's what they did.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's just what they
You
did.
spent all day long, every night with them, every weekend you would leave. I'm sitting
Because
home
what
taking
would
care of 3
happen?
kids.
What would happen if I went home? What would happen? What would happen?
Because I already knew
We would
what
argue.
was going on.
I don't want to argue anymore.
I'm reactive when I know he sits and talks to them on the phone in front of me. What do you expect me to do? I'm supposed to just be okay with that? It's so much disrespect on so many different levels that you could do that right in front of me.
You know
and
what?
think that
I'm not.
it's okay.
I shouldn't say. I'm not.
And then you said I allowed this, so I'm just supposed to sit
Trace,
there.
How many times
and
have I
listen
made
to it.
passes at you sexually? And what did you do? Don't touch me. Leave me alone. For a whole year you did that.
Yeah, because I was also.
That
My-
made
my
me feel
son-
like something was wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. I didn't think anything was wrong with me.
I still think something's wrong with
Well,
you.
now you do.
Well, how do you feel about... I'm curious how you feel about the fact that he says this is your fault that he's gone outside the marriage.
Right.
He said that, and you just kind of like, well, whatever.
Because I have so many mixed emotions. I know that I did do some of those things, but there's reasons for everything, like Doug said. Between him looking and watching porn all the time,
That's only
If you were
because
satisfied, why are you looking at all of that stuff? So,
honestly,
you know,
one of the issues with me is I have a strong drive.
No,
And
I think that you have an addiction to
thing. No, it's not an addiction.
Well,
Yes,
he
he
says
admitted
this
that
is
he's
what
had
he says this is your fault. Number one, he says he's in love with Essence more than he is with you.
yeah, I think that's evident, even though he's been lying
your
every
fault.
day.
He says that he has had sex with at least 22 men, married men,
Oh my God.
2 women, and 1 transgender person. True?
That's true.
That's disgusting. I didn't know that.
Well, you're learning it now. That's your fault.
No, I knew he was meeting men because he had emails on there, and it'll say, I don't know all the little lingo on Craigslist because obviously I don't troll Craigslist, okay? I think I'm classier than that. But they would say, I'm looking for bottom or top or this or that, and you can kind of figure that out after a while. So I would
Well,
go
now,
on
come
his
on,
internet.
Susie Q. Did you
Yeah.
think they were arm wrestling?
No, I know better than that. My point is, he would start lying about it. He's like, oh, well, I'm just talking to people. I'm not meeting people. And you want to try to believe somebody that you've had such...
The reason I did what I did as far as the lying goes is because I didn't want to disrupt the children or the home or
But you
anything. I was
have.
trying. I understand that.
You have.
I understand that. I didn't want the kids to know what was going on. I didn't want to see. I didn't want them to see us fighting. I didn't want them to see us break up. I didn't want to hurt them, so I tried to hide it as much as I could.
But
See,
he
but
didn't hide it. He would ask my children to drive them around. He's been in grocery stores with this person, in malls with this person, out to dinner,
The only reason why I
out
did
to
that-
movies. You put
Right.
it all over
Right.
the place, but yet you're embarrassed by it.
No,
you
now
brought
I'm not.
it in front
now
of
I'm not
Yeah.
because there's feelings involved now.
Well,
now
good.
I
I'm
brought her
glad.
out because I want to bring her out because I thought you and I were pretty much done.
Well,
Because
we
how
are
many
now.
times
We are now.
have you told me? How many times?
Well, listen, you talk about this from the shock factor as this is a transgender person, but let me tell you, I am not the least bit concerned with who you're cheating with.
Right.
I am concerned with the fact that you are cheating.
Right.
And you're blaming her for that, and that is a ridiculous assertion. Look, were you guys having trouble within the marriage? Sure. There are problems that rise to a marriage level, and then there are problems that rise to an infidelity level. Those are 2 very different things. If y'all weren't communicating, if you were being put off by him, but that's not what's going on here. Coming up, Doug reveals the secret that he's been holding for 23 years from Tracy. You want her to know the truth, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because there are things, obviously, he hasn't told you that he's told
Right.
us. So I want to get it out on the table. He says he has had sex at home while you were at work.
You're a piece of I had a feeling about that. You know what? I need to get the hell out of my house.
All right, hold on.
You're a real piece of
That offends you, that he is...
Of course it does.
Who have you taken to your home? Have you taken Essence to your home?
A couple of times.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Have-
because she doesn't have a home.
Have you had sex in your marriage bed with Essence?
No.
He says that he has had sex with men in gay sex clubs
Oh, sure, I'm sure.
and gone to their homes. Do you have safe sex?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the reason why it was male mostly is because I didn't want a connection. I just wanted the sexual satisfaction, and that's it. Go home. No connection. Now I've met women in the past that I've communicated with, and what did they want to do? They wanted to come further with me. They wanted to fall in love with me. They wanted my phone number. They wanted to know where I lived. I had one girl that was going to go to my house. I don't want that.
So this is basically what's referred to as doing this on the down low. You've kept your family, you've kept your wife, all of that, and then you've gone out and done this on the down low.
It was more of a sexual satisfaction at the time.
Okay, and you have said that you are not satisfied by her. Is this because you two have not had contact in a year? Is that what you mean?
No, we have contact now. If we
Not
had
any
it,
longer.
If we had it,
No, I'm not. I
if we
refuse to
had,
touch
if we
you
had the
anymore.
contact years ago, this would have probably never happened. I've actually had women say to me, "What is wrong with your wife? You're a nice person. You're a nice guy."
Oh my God!
Yeah.
They don't live
Plenty
in
of
our
them.
house.
Plenty
They
of
have
them.
no idea, Doug. They cannot comment on that. They have no idea.
You're right. They don't live in a house, and they don't know what you've put me through.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to find out why Doug is so infatuated with his new girlfriend. We'll be right back.
It's very upsetting to know that he's in love with a man.
When I first laid eyes on Essence, I just thought she was beautiful.
I never will understand it. I never will. I believe that there is a lot that I don't know.
When I first laid eyes on Essence, I just thought she was beautiful. Essence and I hit it off right away. She's just very attractive. She just looks like a model to me. She just glows. I feel like I've known her forever. I kind of wish I had met her a long time ago, even before I was married. I feel like we were meant for each other.
I have a hard time trying to figure out what he's attracted to. I don't understand what they can offer him.
She understands me, she respects me, we understand each other, and we just feel good together.
Everything's turned upside down. I can't trust him. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
At this point, Essence is the whole package for me.
Well, today is an unusual love triangle. Statistically, it's unusual. That was Doug talking about his transgender girlfriend, Essence. He says that he's in love with her, but he also says that he loves his wife, Tracy, of 23 years. True?
It's correct. There's two different types of love, though. There's love and in love.
Mm-hmm. So you love her in the sense that she's the mother of your children.
That's correct.
And you have a history with her.
That's correct.
But in terms of passionate or romantic love, you don't feel that for her, but you do feel that for Essence.
That's correct.
Now, Tracy says that this relationship makes her sick. She has no idea until recently that Doug was bisexual, correct?
That's correct.
All right, take a look at what she had to say about this.
It's very upsetting to know that he's in love with a man. He doesn't think of it that way. I just don't know how he could have been in love with me and treated me the way he did. He has been with me for such a long time and always been such a family and dedicated person and always just told me how beautiful and how sexy I was. I never will understand it. I never will. I can't understand it. I believe there's a lot that he hasn't told me because maybe he doesn't want to hurt me, but I believe that there is a lot that I don't know.
He's been bisexual. This is an awareness he's had for a long time.
But he didn't share that with me. Had he shared that with me before we got married, I wouldn't be with him. I think I should have been able to make that choice.
Did you know this?
He did not do that.
When you got married?
Yes, I do.
Did you feel like you owed her an explanation?
I didn't feel it was necessary at the time because I didn't think I would act on it. I had no reason to. I really loved her for her. I had no interest in men back then at all. I mean, I had an encounter when I was about 13 years old, and that was that. It was over. And for all those years, it never came out until I felt I needed some type of attention, and I seemed to be getting it from that side, for more so than anything.
And you say the wheels came off about 5 years ago. Things started getting bad. You guys were clearly having a problem, right?
We were starting to, yes.
And you were saying she wasn't giving you any attention at all. And you said we were growing apart. So why in God's name did you have a child?
Well, honestly, because I was using birth control and I kept getting pregnant. And I just couldn't.
That's not the truth.
Continue.
I said the other children are growing up. We started going out on a motorcycle. That's how when we first met, we used to go riding on a motorcycle all the time. We were able to get our independence back because the other boys were pretty much on their own. They were old enough to watch themselves or whatever. And Tracy said, I want to have another baby before I'm too old. She wanted to have a girl. And
You
no,
always
you
wanted
said
to
that.
have more kids,
You said that,
too,
and
though.
what did
Don't
I
just
say to
say
you?
that.
What did I say to you? I said, I really don't think it's a good idea right now. And you says, with or without you, I want a baby. And I said, well, I'm not going to be tied down to the house all the time. I don't want to sit in the house for the next 15, 16 years or whatever doing nothing. I want to be able to get out and enjoy myself. And you said you wanted to have the baby, so you got pregnant.
We've got to take a break, but when we come back, you're going to meet Essence, and you're going to hear what she has to say to Tracy and Doug. This is the transgender person that Doug is passionately in love with. We'll be right back.
I love Tracy, but I'm not in love with Tracy like I am with Essence. I would rather spend more time with Essence right now because there's no pressure. I go home, I argue about the affair.
I just never imagined this would happen in my life.
Tracy can't call Essence by her name because she's so angry.
I just say them, that person, it, she, he, or them, anything but their name.
Tracy calls my girlfriend a thing.
I can't say her name. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear him say it.
It makes me feel awful.
When I think about her, I feel annoyed. My heart starts pounding. My blood pressure goes up. I just feel that they're a true threat to my family.
Well, Tracy and Doug say their 23-year marriage is on the verge of ending because Doug has been having an affair with a transgender female. Now, Tracy says she can't even utter his girlfriend's name. Doug says he can't decide between his wife or his girlfriend. I think Tracy's heard some things today that have brought her a degree of clarity, but take a look at this.
Doug has told me he's in love with both of us. I told you many times that you need to make a decision because I'm not going to live like this any longer.
I'm just confused. I love Tracy, but I'm not in love with Tracy like I am with Essence.
Doug told me he has fallen in love with her. When I think about my husband being in love with, especially her, it destroys me. There's no comparison to what we have and what they could possibly have.
I would rather spend more time with Essence right now because there's no pressure. I go home, I argue about the affair. When I'm with Essence, I don't have to argue. It's just, I have a good time.
I just don't have words. It's hard to describe. I just never imagined this would happen in my life.
Well, when we talk about transgender, we're talking about someone whose sexual expression is different than that which they were assigned at birth. Now, in this case, we're talking about a transgender woman. Now, Tracy has agreed to talk to Essence today for the first time, and Essence is joining us on Polycom today. Essence, are you there?
I'm here.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So, Tracy, is there anything you want to say to Essence? Any question you want to ask? Anything that you would like to say to her?
Honestly, I don't know what I want to say now because he's already said that he's in love with them and he wants to be with them. So I guess they can find an apartment together.
Essence, what did you want to say?
You know what? I'm a nervous wreck, but it's a shame. It's a real shame.
How do you feel about the fact that you are involved with someone's husband here? You're interloping into a marriage.
In the beginning, it was difficult, but I don't know. It's something about Doug that I haven't found in any other man. You know, my relationships were abusive. I've been beat up. I've been raped. And Doug is the first man that, you know, I love him, you know?
Essence, do you believe that you two will be together long term?
I believe it. I believe it.
Do you have any remorse here that a family will break up if that comes to be the case? That you're with a woman's husband that stood and made a marriage vow, and now you're with someone else's husband? Does that bother you at all?
No. Not at all.
Essence didn't want a relationship with me in the beginning because of me being married. I brought her into this.
Well, it doesn't bother them now to break up a family?
Can I ever finish? This is one of the problems. I can never say anything. Let me voice myself for a
Okay,
change.
let him talk.
Finally, let's be honest about
I am
things.
being honest. That's why I'm here.
All right, let's go.
Essence did not want to be in a relationship with me in the beginning. Yes, we met, we kicked it off, we had a great time talking, communicating, laughing. She lifted me when I was down. She made me feel good, and the more I knew her, the feelings got stronger and stronger, and you know, I tried harder and harder to bring her in, because again, she did not want to be in a relationship with me because she was afraid that she was going to start feeling for me and I would go back to my wife. And I brought her into it. So she feels the way she feels today because I allowed it.
What I really think when we come back. I just asked her if she had any remorse of breaking up a marriage, being involved with someone else's husband. She said no.
At first, she said, I can't. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. I'm not sure. I says, listen, I want more of you. I want more out of you. You make me feel good.
So you worked hard at it for 2 or 3 months.
I did, because I thought my relationship was over. I don't have a ring on my finger. Neither does she. Where are the rings?
What would have happened if you would have put that kind of effort into working on this relationship?
I tried. You know something? At the time, I was so desperate to get that attention, to have somebody there for me. At that point, it was male or female. I just wanted that attention. You know, I just didn't want to be alone. I wanted somebody to be there for me, with me, whatever, and do things with me. And this is why this relationship with Essence got so far.
Well, you have thought Doug was in a phase. What do you think now?
With this? Everybody says to me, oh my God, you know, maybe it's a midlife crisis, maybe he's just struggling with this new identity all of a sudden. But you know what really bothers me? Now that he's finally being honest, 2 days ago, I mean, I have a load of text messages where he said, I'm not leaving. I love you. I'm not leaving. Why would you emotionally torment somebody like that? Why would you lie to me like that? Why would you do that?
Because you thought I was walking out immediately. I am not going anywhere at this point.
That's not what you're saying.
At this
point. You said
point.
that you were going to cut ties and you were going to stay home. You said it's all good. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not. You thought I was walking.
Do you think you're going to stay in my house and see that person? It doesn't work that way.
All right, hold on. We got to take a break. Doug clearly has some decisions to make, as do you. And we're going to get to that. Essence is with us. We'll talk to them all when we come back.
I consider myself bisexual. I've had those feelings since I was a teenager.
I don't think I would have ever married him had I known this.
I am interested in male and female, so the transgender really brought it together, and when I see someone like Essence, it turns me on.
Well, in today's show, we've been talking to Tracy and Doug and Doug's transgender girlfriend, Essence. Now, Doug says he's torn between these two people. He loves one, but is in love with the other. So, of course, the question that he has to face is who should he choose?
I just never expected this day to come where I had to make a decision.
Doug needs to make a choice. I've told him he needs to make a choice, and I prefer that he would do that soon.
If there was a way I could have both, I would do it. I can't keep going back and forth. I've been living 2 lives here.
What it's come down to is me or his girlfriend.
Part of me says, be the husband and father you're supposed to be. The other part says, follow your heart. Tracy wants us to be that husband, wife, children, perfect family, minus the bisexuality.
I don't feel like there's an easy answer.
In the end, someone's gonna get hurt.
The minute that I knew that I was losing him, it hit me, and I realized that I didn't want to. We raised these beautiful kids together. We went on vacations. We did everything together. And I just feel like it's just not my life anymore.
The last thing in this world I would want to do is hurt Tracy. I just don't know what to do.
Well, you feel like he betrayed you yesterday.
Absolutely.
How so?
By telling me he loves me. We were intimate with each other. Why would you do that? And he said, because I asked for it.
You, Trace.
If you love somebody else, why would you do that? You're betraying them to them,
Trace,
right? Why would you do that?
I just don't want to argue. I do whatever it takes to not argue at this point.
We spent the day, we paid to go to Universal Studios. We're out here in this beautiful LA. We go and take our kids out because we never do anything as a family together. And the whole time he was talking to his girlfriend on the phone. The whole time. If you don't want argument, why would you do that? It's so disrespectful. This is what I can't deal with.
Essence, how do you feel about the fact that Doug was intimate with his wife yesterday?
She wants it, give it to her.
Unbelievable. If you love somebody, you would say that? That would hurt me. I can't believe that you'd be all right with that. If you supposedly love somebody.
You're married to him for 28 years. If you get a feeling...
23.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
I have no problem with it.
Okay, so I could see where your relationship's going. That's all right. You can have him at this point.
Do you have a home, Essence?
Yes, I have a home.
Do you have a career? Do you work?
I'm a housekeeper.
Okay. And is this...
You know what Essence has got more than anything?
Go ahead.
A personality. People don't see that right there. They don't see that right there. She has a heart of gold and a personality like no other that I've ever known. None. And every place that I've been with her, any place I've been with her, people say to me, she's the nicest person, she's so funny, she just lights up a room. You're only seeing this part.
Okay.
Nobody knows Essence.
Why, Doug? You know what he says that I'm a right? Because I've been taking care of 3 babies, working. I'm supposed to digest all of this and what you're doing to me and still be a glow in the room. This person has no job, no bills whatsoever, okay? They get free money, free medical treatment on all of us taxpayers. So I think if I switched with them for one day, I think I would be pretty nice.
See, that's how much you know. You know too damn much about me, but you don't know me. You don't know me.
I don't want to, sweetheart. I don't want to.
Good. Then shut the hell up about me.
There you go. That's class. You just told me to shut the hell up. See?
Then shut the hell up about me.
Thank you. You're all seeing how classy this person is right now.
If you have such feelings for Essence, why have you not just gotten a divorce and gone to be with her?
Actually, it's coming to that point now. I thought before I decided on that, I would just see what happens, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better at home, and the relationship with Essence has actually gotten better.
Well, let me ask you two a question. And Essence, I'm going to talk about some family business here, so I'm going to thank you for joining us today and say goodbye to you at this point.
Bye-bye.
Okay, why, even before today, why are you waiting for him to decide what's going to happen in your life?
When I can answer that, I just felt like I wanted to give it one more chance for the kids.
Well,
really for the children's sake. Because I didn't have a father growing up, and I'm sorry. What bothers me is having my son, who means the world to me, around that person. I don't want him exposed to that. And my husband has done that without me knowing, and it kills me. There's no reason my son has to be around that person. All these people just saw what kind of person they are.
They don't know her.
I'm going to weigh in here and tell you what I think, because I don't think people ought to ever come here and wonder what I thought about something. Now, for some people, the controlling factor here is that this is a transgender woman. To me, I could care less. Transgender woman, another woman, man, whatever. What matters to me is the fact that you are cheating on your wife, not once, not twice, not 10 times, not 20 times, but what we know about, you've said 23 men married, 2 women, and 1 transgender woman. Okay, now, for you to take your child and introduce them to one of your partners, one of your affairs, one of your infidelities is inappropriate. I don't care who it is. That is confusing to a child. That is inappropriate. You should not do that. And I'm not saying that because you don't like the fact that it's a transgender woman. I wouldn't care if it was Mary Poppins. Okay? You shouldn't do that. That's not good for the child, and that's inappropriate. It should not be done. So I don't care how nice a person it is. Now, at this point, are you through with this marriage?
At this point, I would say yes at this point.
Are you through with this marriage?
Absolutely.
See, I believe in that if you're going to make a decision, you want all the data.
Absolutely.
And you've learned some things today you didn't know when you got here, right?
Absolutely.
And you've learned them because you were forthcoming with us about those things, which I thank you for. We ask him questions, and I'll give it to him. He has been honest, as far as I know, straight across the board. If he's lying, he chose some unusual things to include in the things he represents as truth. So you know that he has been cheating on you in a serial fashion. That may bother you that it was mostly men, some women, 1 transgender woman, but it really doesn't matter, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it takes a little time for you to wrap your head around, as you said. But whoever it is, he has been unfaithful to you, and what's more, blames you for it.
Right.
It's your fault that he's been with these 23 men, 2 women and 1 transgender woman, because you
All you
pushed
need to
him
do
away.
is throw a horse and a pig in there. I mean, really.
And I don't concur that it's your fault, because honestly, we have to make our own decisions. We make our own choices. And so when you make the choices, you've got to own them. Now you can say, because she did A, I did B. Well, she may do A, but then you could choose B, C, D, E. You could do any number of things. And you chose what you chose. If you're willing to accept that, you are a damn fool. At some point, you've got to say, you know what? I've got to get a backbone here. I got to stand up for myself. I understand you didn't have a father. I understand you don't want that for your children. But it is what it is. And, you know, I predict that this relationship he has with this transgender woman is ill-fated. I mean,
believe
relationships that are born in infidelity don't have a future
Right.
Statistically. They just don't. Now, he'll think he's the exception that proves the rule, but sometime in the near term, that's going to be gone, and he's likely to be back over there saying, you know, I'm sorry, I want to make amends, or maybe he'll go on to somebody else. You need to make a decision what you're going to do and not sit around waiting for him to tell you what's going to happen in your life.
Right.
And the last thing I'll say is, if you two, in fact, are calling an end to this, and I call this instead of a marriage, because what you've had certainly the last 5 years has not been any kind of marriage that I've ever encountered, you do need to responsibly create a new relationship as co-parents of this child.
Right.
Children are very, very perceptive, and they also have memories. And he will now, as he grows up, look back and realize, you know what? He took me around that woman when he was cheating on my mother with her. And that may not be a concept that he embraces now, but it can be a concept that he embraces down the road. It's a bad idea. You don't want to do, trust me, you don't want to do that. Okay, we'll follow this and see what happens. We'll be right back. Well, I want to thank Tracy, Doug, and Essence for being honest and sharing your story with us, because my goal when people come here is to get it all out on the table so you can make informed decisions. And I never consider it a victory if someone comes here and after 23 years they make a decision to say this relationship is over. But I frankly think that decision was made long before you came here. And, you know, I never say never, but you cannot have a marriage if both partners are not willing to say, this is an exclusive relationship, it is just between us. And if you're not willing to make that commitment, then you have no commitment. And so you're going to have to think about it, pray about it, think about it, do whatever. But there is no way in God's earth that you should settle for what you now have, in my opinion. And you know that. You wouldn't if it was she was on the other foot. You wouldn't do that. So for more information about this topic, go to drphil.com. Thanks for being here so long.
Today on Dr. Phil, she claims her son was kidnapped and brainwashed by his father.
Are you going to continue to sue the family he's living with?
Absolutely, I am. It was a crime. This was a kidnapping.
If you are attacking the family, you are attacking him.
Now, this family drama
She's the only one lying here.
is far from over.
I just closed my eyes and shot myself.
Why did you shoot yourself?
The surprising answer.
I hear the gunshot. I hear it.
You made me do it, Mom.
He's made these things in your head. I hear the gunshot.
Listen.
He's excelled.
You're not the one that hears the gunshot.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've heard long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Wilson, take
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
5, 4.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Today, the story of a young man so desperate for attention, he took the family handgun in November 2012 and tragically tried to kill himself. His mom, Minnie, said her 17-year-old son was just a troubled boy, and this was just the latest act in his unstable behavior. Minnie knew she had to reach out to Andrew's biological father, David, even though they haven't had any contact in 10 years. She says she never expected David to kidnap their son out of the hospital where he was recovering and take him across state lines to live with him. She says David has hypnotized and brainwashed Andrew into staying with him. Here's what happened yesterday.
I met David when I was 19. I had a 3-night stand with David. I found that I was pregnant August 1994. My son Andrew was born in April of 95. Being Andrew's mother was very stressful. I saw his first psychiatrist when he was 5 and a half, and they had said that it sounded like hyperactivity disorder or bipolar disorder. Another doctor said obsessive compulsive disorder. He had multiple issues. David met Andrew for the first time when he was approximately 6 years old. From the ages of 6 to 17, David had only seen Andrew approximately 3 times. My husband, Lon, was really the hands-on father.
Life was really good until I turned 7. That's when my mom married Lon. Lon physically and mentally abused me every day of my life for 10 years.
Lon, let me ask you something. Is that true?
This child's never been abused, Dr. Phil.
Are you telling the truth here, or have you been brainwashed?
Words can't describe how bad it actually was.
On November 9th, 2012, my son tried to kill himself by shooting himself point blank in the chest. Andrew had a collapsed lung. The bullet had broken into fragments. So he had a bullet lodged into his arm. He had 2 broken ribs. He was in a lot of pain, and it was hard to watch. David or his wife called in to Child Protective Services, and they devised a plan to have David take Andrew from the hospital without my permission. I believe there was a conspiracy to have my son kidnapped.
I did not kidnap my son, Andrew. I did nothing illegal. Lon and Minnie asked me to take him for him to live with us.
You were okay with him going with David?
Andrew did ask me if he could go to Nevada, and I said yes.
You don't consider the kidnapping taking place because he asked you if he could go, and you said yes?
No, I do consider that it took place because David came from Nevada with the plan to kidnap him all along.
But you gave your son permission to go with him?
Yes, to my son I did. In May of last year, my son told me he wanted nothing to do with me, and that was the last time I talked to him. They have brainwashed my son into believing that I am evil. People need to pay for what they did. I'm currently suing the County of Humboldt, Sierra Vista Hospital in Sacramento, several social workers, and I'm suing David and his wife.
Minnie is out of control and obsessed with getting Andrew back. I love Andrew very much. Yeah, I love Andrew very much.
My whole life, I felt like I wasn't normal. My life now is very different. I have a girlfriend, I have a car, I graduated high school, I have a full-time job. These are all things my mom wouldn't let me do. I honestly want my mom to go away. I want her to stop suing the family I'm living with. If I knew I could have gone with David, my dad, then I wouldn't have shot myself.
Why did you shoot yourself?
I did it because of you and the house I was in. I did it because you would never let me do what I wanted to do. I tried to move out earlier and get a job, and you told me I couldn't. You said if I wanted to work, I could work at the house.
No.
I did it to escape your household, the things you did to me. My whole life, you never listened to me. Not a word I said.
I'm sorry for not listening to you. I agree with that.
Well, I don't have problems.
We didn't say you couldn't get a job. We
yes,
said
you did.
No, we did not. You wanted to run track, and you wanted
never
to.
let me.
We wanted you to focus on graduating first.
No.
You had friends that were smoking
You took me out of school.
Andrew, we didn't want you to smoke with your friends and rip off the liquor store.
That wasn't it.
Or the Safeway.
I smoked and did alcohol to cope with you, to abuse.
Andrew says, just leave us alone. And the emails that we talked about before, you said we almost lost Andrew, but then after that, hiya, David, thanks for the nice photos. It's hard to believe he was a gunshot victim just 2 weeks ago. Then you write, nice to know he's settling in there. He's very polite and nice when he's here with everyone else. We never see the one you're seeing now. And then next, you say, Andrew sounds awesome. The way Andrew talks makes me want to convert to the Mormon religion. I mean, everything's just going great.
Well, they were over his phone calls to me were so over the top.
Yeah,
I've
then
never
all
been
of a
so
sudden,
happy. And
yeah, then all of a sudden, on December 26th of 2012, David, I would feel sorry for you if you hadn't kidnapped my kid, shelling out so much money to a bottom feeder. Family law is the bottom of the bottom. They are all the dumbest attorneys out there. You're an idiot. I have dealt with family law attorneys, and yours is a total moron. She is milking you for everything you are worth, telling you what you want to hear. Stupid. Then
put her letters up there to me. Put her letters. She told me I was a despicable mother, coming in not knowing anything about the last 17 years of me loving my son.
This was
It was about his attorney his family law attorney who wrote 5-page letter to me about what a despicable, evil person I am. And I was just like, I can't believe an attorney is writing me this kind of a letter.
Then later that day, you email his wife, Jennifer. And you say, by the way, David told me that you are a horrible and that you take forever to blank. He liked it so much better with me, but now that he's a fat ass, you can totally have him. Fatty.
I'm sorry, Dr.
Laugh
Phil,
out loud.
I was depressed and drunk when I wrote that email. I was depressed and drunk. Dr. Phil, seriously, someone kidnaps your son who has a bullet in him. He has a bullet in him, and he won't return my son, and I don't know what's going on with my son.
Okay, well, had you, hold on.
I did drink a lot during this time.
Had you sobered up the next day?
It depends on the time of the email. I mean,
because the next day...
I was very depressed, Dr. Phil.
So the next day you say, congrats. It's a boy with tons of psychiatric problems and a lifelong disability issues. You guys are so lucky. Good luck with that.
I sent that because I was so angry because they had my son tell me to and that he never wanted to have anything to do with me, and I didn't understand. I'm like, how can my son, who we've had an okay relationship for 17 years, all of a sudden do this? I didn't understand. I was in, like, shock, angry. You know, my son is with strangers, Dr. Phil, and he's got a bullet in him.
Well, then, almost a year later, 10/11/13, October 11th, a very few months ago, you write, DW, you thought your anger would throw me off my game? Well, news for you, I live, breathe, eat, and sleep anger. It actually gives me my edge. You want to throw me off my game? Good luck with that. Every day that goes by, you are still hurting my baby, teenager or not, and I will get you. And back at the end of the year, December 24th, this is some Christmas Eve joy, you sent one that said, Brad Pitt in the last 20 minutes of 7. Don't think you can steal my kid and get away with it.
These must be tweets. I drunk tweet a lot. Are these tweets? Are these Twitter tweets?
Well, this was posted on your Facebook. Maybe we need to put
Facebook too.
Well, maybe we need to put a breathalyzer on your computer.
Do you understand how upsetting? Do you understand, I'm sorry, Dr. Phil, when I get upset, sometimes I say a lot. Your son shot himself, and you don't get to apologize. Lon wanted to say he loved you. He never got to say he loved you, and that has eaten him up every day. I have a lot of things I wanted to say to you, that he stole that moment from us. We wanted to fix our family. If we were so, emotionally upsetting to you, that was our chance to come in. We were going to roll up our sleeves. You shot yourself. We're like, oh my gosh, this is serious. We have to work on this and be better parents.
I don't believe he ever loved me, Mom.
Of course.
When I shot myself, he was screaming and yelling that I destroyed your life.
He wasn't screaming.
He
held you in his arms.
No, he didn't.
You were out of it.
There. I
walked in the room and your eyes were like this.
When I shot
he
myself,
was crying.
I jumped up and hid the gun so you guys wouldn't get in trouble. I was completely with it.
It shows you are a nutcase, Andrew, because nobody would care about hiding a gun. We care about you.
I didn't want this to happen.
Hiding a gun doesn't protect us.
It does.
How does that protect us?
We didn't care about being protected.
Lon, don't refer to him as a nutcase. That's not right.
He's called me that my whole life.
Well, Dr. Phil, honestly, when somebody shoots themselves stone cold sober,
you were sober.
That's a reason right there to think that he's not mentally thinking correctly. And then to think about hiding a gun to protect us from what? He would have protected us by not hurting himself.
I have been mentally tortured every night. I hear the gunshot. I hear the gunshot going off in my head. I hear it.
And later...
I know. You love him. I get it.
Listen, I don't want to hurt you, but you have to leave us alone.
I've been suing him.
Why?
Because I tried to report your child abduction
There was no abduction. I told you point blank, I don't want to go back to the abuse in your house.
And I don't care that he made you say that stuff. I don't care.
You didn't make me say anything.
I don't care.
You wrote blogs, Minnie, as well.
I have a blog.
You have a blog.
Right.
On 12/29/12, you wrote, my oldest child was recently kidnapped by a sperm donor. Mm-hmm. I've got to do some major damage to the holes on many list. I want to totally tear this guy's life apart. I want to drive 1,000 miles, stalk him, find out what he values most in his life, and rip it to shreds. A week later, vengeance sends me the murderous ideas that consume me. I think I just might hire someone to snuff the and then I go back to bed.
That is true, Dr. Phil. You don't understand. I have been mentally tortured every night. I hear the gunshot. I hear the gunshot going off in my head. I hear it. I hear it. You don't understand the pain. Dude, I'm your mother. I am your mother, and I love you.
You made me do it, Mom.
He has made these things in your head.
Living with you led me to it. The way you treated me.
Broken. You're going to say you weren't crying and depressed for that week. Don't start talking. You're not the one that hit the gunshot. You're the one who was there. Lon was cradling him in his arms. We love you. You laughing because you're nervous, and I still love you.
I'm laughing because it's all fake.
It is not fake. I am sorry.
Was he cradling you?
He never touched me. I remember he came in and he was yelling, saying, I destroyed my mother's life. Look what I've done. And I was saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just kept saying that over and over again.
You were not.
Lon told me the miracle in this whole thing is not Andrew not dying. The miracle is that he didn't die because it would have killed her.
Because I love him so much and he loves him. We wanted him to survive. What are you talking about?
I've done. He's the miracle.
I got to ask one question, and then we have to take a break, and then I want to tell you what I want to do after that. How are you doing now?
I'm doing wonderful, Dr. Phil. I'm doing all the things my mother said I would never do. I have a full-time job. I've had a girlfriend for a year now. I have a driver's license. My mother-in-law said I could never drive a car because I could never follow the rules of the road.
Lon.
Are you driving a car?
I'm driving. True. I drive in Vegas, busy city traffic.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I have a girlfriend.
Okay. When you went to, I just need to ask you things. When you went to Vegas, you're a member of the Mormon Church?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you go to a Mormon school?
I chose to go to seminary in the morning because I wanted to learn more about the Bible.
But I'm talking about your school, just math and
Dr.
science.
Phil, they gave him that girlfriend on Thanksgiving the day he got there.
I'm sorry, did you?
Yeah, come on.
We go to a public high school.
Okay, you go to public high school. Okay, do you have friends?
I have lots of friends.
Did you do any sports?
I did do sports. I did track.
Okay.
With a collapsed lung.
And
Hurdles.
you were medically cleared?
Medically cleared. It didn't hurt me a bit.
And
He has a blood
she
clot.
says,
I have the
Minnie
x-rays
says,
from the hospital. He's internally bleeding.
Minnie says that you gave him this girlfriend for Thanksgiving.
I said on Thanksgiving. No.
On Thanksgiving. Where did you
got there.
Where did you get her?
We bought her, Dad.
His girlfriend is the valedictorian of his class.
And it was on Thanksgiving, right? He'd been there a couple days, right? Tell me that, right? Yes, because he told me.
He started dating about 2 months.
No,
I actually met her at
Same
church.
girlfriend.
You met her at church?
Yeah, and we didn't start dating until January 23rd.
January 23rd. And she was the valedictorian of the class? Okay.
Actually, the whole school.
Okay, and you've been driving for how long now?
Since June.
Yeah.
Since I graduated.
Yeah, and
That's when I got my driver's license. I've had my permit the whole time.
Yeah, how many wrecks have you had?
None.
How many tickets have you had?
None.
Have you gotten lost?
I get lost plenty of times.
Yeah. Did you find your way home, though?
I find my way home.
You do find your way back
yeah.
home? Okay. So you graduated with the 3.0.
Mm-hmm.
You have a girlfriend and a job and a car, and you've done sports, and you're active in a church.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Do you drink?
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't have any of these problems, which they told me I had my whole life.
He's an assistant with the Boy Scouts.
Your Humboldt County friends gave you the pot. What the heck? We didn't give you the pot and drugs.
You're working with the Boy Scouts?
I'm an assistant Cub Scout leader. It's my church calling.
So you're assistant Cub Scout leader.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Well,
I think that's great. If he's happy, I'm happy. I just wanted the bullets removed. I haven't been bothering them.
The bullet?
I want the bullet and the shrapnel, and I want to make sure he's medically sound. He didn't take him to check out his collapsed lung when he kidnapped him.
Mom.
I wanted a surgeon to look at him and make sure he was fine. If he's happy, as a mother, I was gonna curse.
Now that you know
I'm happy too.
Will you leave us alone?
I'm not bothering you guys. You know what? When he told me he wants to move on, I have not bothered them.
you're suing everybody with a mailing address. Hell, you're suing the hospital and Humboldt County. And I'm not saying that they didn't do things wrong. I'm not saying they didn't do things wrong.
I know they did do things wrong.
And if they did, they should be held to account. But
yes, that's
separate from this,
yes,
is what I'm
I have
saying.
not contacted them or harassed them once he said.
She threatened to sue the high school for enrolling him. She threatened his
Again,
psychiatrist.
separate. I'm not hounding my son, Dr. Phil. I'm not calling.
Everybody's.
I have let go. I have let go.
Yeah. When we come back, I'm going to ask Minnie if she has any questions, and I'm going to ask David to excuse us because I want to have Minnie to have an opportunity to talk with her son absent anyone else here other than myself, and we'll see how that goes. We'll be right back.
We're suing David and his wife Jennifer because they enticed away my minor son, abducted him, kept him there. Basically, it's parental alienation.
I want Minnie to stop with the lawsuit, but she said she's not going to stop, even if she does lose.
My mom has been in lawsuits as far as I can remember, and now she is suing my dad. It's very hard on me, honestly. I feel like this is my fault that I've caused this, and it's hard to see the only people that have ever taken care of me in such pain because of my mother. Growing up, my mother told me I was psychotic, bipolar, I was autistic. Pretty much, she picked me apart and she put a diagnosis to it. My mom's plan was to keep me at the very bottom, tell me I could never do anything. She told me I was too stupid to go to college. I want to say to my mom, I'm not mentally retarded, I don't have Asperger's, I'm not bipolar, I'm not schizophrenic, I am normal, and whatever she says that I am not. And she can't decide who I am.
Oh, I'm happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. I mean, that's all I want in life is for you to be happy. And I don't care that he made you say that stuff. I don't care.
He didn't make me say anything.
I don't care. Well, I know. You love him. I get it.
Listen, I don't want to hurt you, but you have to leave this alone. I'm 18.
I'm not going to bother you. I love you.
You've been bothering the family I'm living with for a year now.
I've been suing him.
Why?
Because I tried to report your child abduction
There
kidnapping.
was no abduction. I
Okay.
told you point blank, I don't
Okay.
want to go back to the abuse in your house. I told you.
No, that never happened.
I told you. I called you many times.
You never said that to me
I've
on the
told
phone
you.
because that never happened.
Mom, you remember when we met in front of the police station in person? I told you I was happy, and you told me I was mentally handicapped. You told me you would declare me mentally handicapped, and I wouldn't be able to make decisions for myself.
Because you had the bullet in you, and I
that
needed to
made
get
me
you back.
mentally handicapped? I couldn't make decisions because I had a bullet in me?
I wanted to get you back from him. He wouldn't return you. That was 2 weeks
No, it was
later.
my choice. I didn't want to go back.
You were 17.
He gave me the choice. He said I could go back, and I told him if I went back with you, I would run away.
Okay. I understand that.
You said that.
No, but
did.
a week before you said you'd run away if they made you stay with him. I have that report too, Andrew. A week before, before you got to Nevada, in the child welfare report, they brought that up to you.
Mom.
And Andrew says he will run away if he's forced to live in Nevada.
Mom, honestly,
Because you wanted to come back to
I've
Humboldt
never
County.
lived a normal life. I thought living with you was normal, so I came out here, and I've experienced normal life, and I was happy.
I understand that.
I just wanted things to change between us and our family.
We did too, and that was our time.
That's why I wanted to go
When you
back.
shot yourself, that was our
realized
time.
that it's
we
not
were going to
normal.
roll up our sleeves and do whatever it took to make our family perfect and happy. Read family first. That was our chance.
Mom,
we wanted to do that, but it was stolen from us,
17 years I've lived with you. I've
we
never
could have
experienced
been
a
better.
normal life.
I know what you mean by normal. You mean, you know, the Brady Bunch or something.
No,
but
Mom.
really, trust me, your life was average. I want to tell you, it was average. No one abused you. I was abused. I was physically and sexually abused as a
Mom.
child, and you know that never happened to you because I wouldn't let it. Because I lived
You let
sexual
it.
and physical abuse.
You let it,
Andrew,
Mom.
I lived it as a child. That never happened to
I
you.
lived it.
Now, emotional abuse, totally different. I understand that. It takes 1,000 attaboys for one, you're stupid. Get that. I'm sorry for that. We were emotionally draining parents. I agree. I agree.
Can I jump in a second? Here's the thing. I'm sorry that you made the decision to injure yourself. You could have died, and you don't want to be doing that. And I hope you understand now that that's a bad option.
Of course.
Right.
They wouldn't give me options. I wanted to move out. I wanted to get a job.
Okay, but
I wanted
now
to go to school.
that's not on your radar at this point, right?
No.
There's nothing that you would consider
Never.
doing again. I want that to be off the chart. Because you get in a box, you have somebody to call. You call me, and I will call you back if I'm not there.
I appreciate it, but I'm not even worried about it.
I understand, but I just want you to know you've got an outlet, right here, and I want you to know that.
That was worth it. Anything I've done was worth that, just that. You can call him. He won't get me involved. I'm out of the picture. And if you ever need help, and that was worth anything and everything that I've done to get here.
It's a burden to know that she's suing the family I'm living with.
Are you asking her to stop that?
I've been asking her for the whole year.
I'm not suing my son.
Are you going to continue to sue the family that he's living with?
My whole life, I felt like I wasn't normal. My stepfather was very abusive. My mother told me I was autistic. I just wanted to get out of the situation I was in. If I knew I could have gone with David, my dad, then I wouldn't have shot myself. I honestly want my mom to go away.
Nobody knows the details of everything that has happened. You say one thing, he says another thing, and oftentimes people can experience and see things very, very differently. That's why eyewitness testimonies are so unreliable. I mean, people just see things differently. And your definition of average and normal and your definition of average and normal and mine are probably vary greatly. But what I want you to know now is you're talking to him without David here, and I've been doing this for a long, long time.
Okay.
Long, long time. And I hear what is said and I hear what isn't said. 7% of all communication is verbal, 93% is nonverbal. It's facial tone, body language, intonation, syntax, all sorts of things that go into what people communicate. And so I'm often paying attention, listening to things that others just don't care to pay attention to. And I've been observing this young man, and I've got to tell you that the way that he conducts himself now in a highly stressful situation, this is highly stressful. I mean, he's confronting you. He knows you're upset. He's confronting Lon. He's on national television. He's meeting me the first time. He's got all these people here, millions of people watching this. And this young man has appropriate affect. He has appropriate verbalizations. They're not pushed in any way. He seems to be neurologically intact.
Lon worked with him on eye contact. When Lon first met him at 7.5, we worked with him. Yes.
He seems to me at this point to be functioning
exceptional
in a really good way. So whatever's happening in his life, it seems to be working.
No, he was this way when we raised him. This is my son.
Why don't you tell me my whole life I had problems?
I said you may have
hold on.
learning issues.
Listen, I'm not trying to be right.
But this is because of my mothering that he is a beautiful man. I had raised him in Lawrence for 17 and a half years.
And you should be.
I'm not saying that David, the kidnapper,
you should be very proud.
I am extremely proud.
Then you should be
very proud. And I have
proud.
Always been proud of my son.
Because
I've told him that.
Because at this point, I think that he seems to be doing really, really well. And I think you can take a deep breath and some peace. And I would think that the best thing that could happen for your son and for yourself and your family is to stop this litigious pursuit. You said, as long as I know you're happy, that's all I care. I'll stop everything else.
I haven't contacted or harassed him. When I found out that he was in the middle, I did not push a relationship with him because I didn't want to keep my son in the middle.
No, I certainly hope you have a relationship with him going forward, but I hope
all of those emails and calls were during the time in December of last year.
I hope you'll drop all of these lawsuits that affect him. You'll sue whoever you feel like you need to, but you need to leave him out of any of this. You're not helping him.
I'm not suing my son. I have left him completely out of everything.
Well, it's a burden to know that she's suing the family I'm living with, that they've done nothing but help me. I see the stress you're causing in their life, the financial hardship, the mental stress.
Are you asking her to stop that?
I've been asking her for the whole year. I never wanted her to start it.
And it's understandable. This lawsuit started because he'd been there for 2 weeks. I thought that
are you going to continue to sue the family?
Let me explain. My family's gone through grief too. Your son Noah sleeps with your picture. He has 3 siblings that have never seen him. He shot himself and he was gone. It's like a death for our family. We sit around with Andrew stories and saying, "Remember the time Andrew did this?"
Are you going to continue to sue his family that he's living with now?
I want to know how you shouldn't feel in the middle, Andrew. David needs to be accountable for his actions as an adult.
He did nothing wrong.
Okay, he's an adult. If you're an 18-year-old, you can live on your own. You should understand this, that he's an adult. If he goes and robs a bank, commits a crime, he's held accountable for that.
He didn't do anything wrong.
I understand your opinion, and I support that.
Okay,
I support that opinion.
Let me ask you a question. This isn't an essay question, it's just a question.
Okay.
Are you going to continue to sue the family that he's living with?
The bullet was still in there. Now he's on national TV saying they removed it. Do you have proof that they ever removed the bullet and the fragments?
She's the only one lying here.
Are you going to continue to sue the family that he's living with?
Absolutely, I am. Okay. I am going to still do that. I'm still going to do that. I don't understand why someone who committed a crime against my child, right? It was a crime. My family had grief too. He was not abused.
You know,
this was a kidnapping.
I can just tell you, maybe it's just me, and I'm talking this as a parent, not as Dr. Phil, just as, daddy. I always find a real soft spot in my heart for people that do kind things for my children. What
if they kidnapped them first?
If I see
How's that work?
If I see that my child is happy and healthy and flourishing and doing well, then I always have a soft spot in my heart for them. And make no mistake, you do what you want to do. I can't tell you what to do or not do, but make no mistake, if you are attacking the family with whom he is living, you are attacking him. And that's your conscious choice if you do that.
Okay, well, I have a question, Dr. Phil. When I did depositions with the kidnapper, who, by the way, I caught committing several felonies during the kidnapping, lying to the police, lying to the court in affidavits, he even had a fake psychiatrist, which I thought you would find upsetting. He had a nurse sign a letter pretending to be a psychiatrist, submitted it to the court that says that Andrew suffers from no mental health problems. Now, that's a crime. It's upsetting. When I did depositions, the bullet was still in there. Now he's on national TV saying they removed it. Do you have proof that they ever removed the bullet and the fragments? Because this guy, trust me, lies in affidavits under oath to court. So I've always been worried about the bullet in there because my son shot himself. It could move. It could cut tendons. He could be paralyzed. This man appeared at his deposition with a lot of fake doctor information that I busted during depositions.
She's the only one lying here.
Where's the bullet?
We actually had it taken out. I have 2 fragments under my arm. They're not bothering me whatsoever.
Can you ask when?
The one that was bothering me, we had Lance.
When was it removed?
Would you share with me the medicals on that? Will you send me
It came to the surface and it got lanced. I mean, it was literally right here on the surface.
But you didn't take it out, did you?
So it was moving.
The doctor took it out?
Yeah, the doctor took it out.
Okay, and so there'll be a little note on that. Would you share that with me? Just send it to me next week?
I don't know where it is. I have no idea.
Well, the doctor, just give me the name of the doctor.
I don't know the name of the doctor.
Well, can you get it?
I don't know. It wasn't me. Dave and Jennifer did it.
Okay, well, I'll get it from them then.
When was it done?
A few months after he came here.
Okay.
A few months when?
After he
Then
came
why
here.
did Dave tell the court that there was no medical work done, that he hadn't seen a doctor under oath?
Well, I'll verify this.
Okay, but that was my problem because it was moving.
My point to you is do what you want to do. And the letter that you're talking about, I've seen that letter. I didn't rely on that letter here today. I didn't use it
because it was a nurse, and he portrayed it as being a psychiatrist. They did no psychological testing for anything for him to say that. But that's not the point. I never wanted to put labels on my son. Never. I never put him on medication because I thought it was making him drowsy.
He's had a lot of labels put on him.
Right, and I have not put them, and I never.
But at this point, he's an adult.
He's an adult and happy.
He's an adult, and I just want you to know that, in my opinion, if you're attacking the family he's living with, legally or otherwise, you're attacking him, and that'll be to his detriment, and it will disrupt his peace of mind.
Yes,
and if you feel like you need to do it, then by all means do it. But do it. Know that, in my professional opinion, you're doing it at the cost of your son's peace of mind and happiness.
Right, and I don't want to do that.
And,
I don't want to do that. So I'm going to strongly consider dropping it against your new family.
I would hope that you would, because there's nothing really to gain.
Right. Okay. Would that be better? I'm sorry. I want him to be medically okay. Then I will be able to drop against his new family. But I need that. I need that for my peace of mind. The guns being in the house was the main issue with the child welfare investigation. We showed the social worker that we had 3 gun safes, so we were properly securing them.
We had guns all over the house. My dad-in-law was a major gun freak. He probably had over 40 guns. There were a few guns that were loaded in the house. There was one in the pantry, one in my dad's office, and one by his bed. The gun in the food pantry that I used to shoot myself. It was my mom's gun, actually. So I knew the gun was there. I just sort of took it when my mom wasn't looking.
Well, in 2012, Minnie says David swooped in, kidnapped her 17-year-old son, Andrew, that she had raised and had custody of all of his life. Well, David says, look, that is just not true. He says she gave him permission to take Andrew. I've now asked you about that, and you said, yes, I did give him permission to take him once he was discharged.
Once he was discharged.
You say you've since found out that there was this whole conspiracy to discharge him so he could take him. You didn't know that when you said okay.
I did not know.
But you say you know that now.
I want him to be medically okay, his lungs and everything, and then I will be able to drop against his new family. Okay. But I need that. I need that for my peace of mind. That's what I want.
Well,
that's the only thing I care about.
I will make arrangements for him to have a full and independent medical evaluation.
Thank you.
And have a copy of that sent to you and Lon. to look at, and this will be someone that I select.
Okay.
My son Jay is the executive producer of The Doctors, and they have connections in the medical community all through the country, including Las Vegas, and we'll find the appropriate professional and we'll have him do an independent medical evaluation and share that report with you and Lon.
Okay.
As well as David. Then you'll have it and you'll be all set and good to go.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Now, I'm gonna say goodbye to you at this point and spend a minute talking to Andrew here for just a second.
Okay,
so
thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lon. Thank you. We'll be right back. Well, Andrew, I'm glad to meet you because I'd heard so much about you from so many people, and you seem to me to be a very together and buttoned-up young man. So tell me what's in your future. What are you going to do with your life? Where are you headed?
I plan on working full-time, maybe going to college, learning some of the things I didn't learn. Get married, have kids, just live a normal life. That's all I ever wanted.
So, want to get married and have kids, huh?
Eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, not anytime soon.
Take it slow. Take it slow. We raised 2 boys. Take it slow. Because they are full-time, and then they have kids, and then you get to do it all over again.
That's definitely farther down the road.
Yeah, I hope so. So what are your interests? What would you like to do career-wise?
I'm actually working full-time as a construction laborer in Vegas. I would like to excel in that field, maybe become an estimator or a skilled laborer, maybe even a foreman.
Okay.
There's a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah, sure. And your home life at this point is peaceful and...
Very peaceful.
You have your own room?
I have my own room. We do family activities together. We have family home evening, which is we get together as a family and talk about problems, and we play board games. We go on family trips every year.
Yeah.
We go to beaches. We just, I guess, do what normal families do.
Yeah. So you play board games?
Yeah, we play board games.
Yeah. What do you like to play?
Phase 10, that's my favorite.
Yeah. See, I never liked board games. That just seems to me like problems in a box. And people love them. Robin makes me play Scrabble once in a while.
I do.
And,
I always win.
Beats me like a drum.
I do.
So at this point, do you feel calm within yourself?
I feel very calm. The only stressful thing in my life right now is my mom suing the family I'm living with.
Well, I think she's really moving in a direction of stopping that, and she's asked to see you, and I think she acknowledges that you're happy and doing well now. I think there's a box she wants to check off in her mind that medically nothing has been left unattended, and so I'm going to ask you to see a doctor and let him give you a good physical.
We've gone through this many times together. I've told her, I've seen her in person, I've talked to her on the phone many times, and she just can't accept it.
Yeah, well, she seemed to make some progress today.
I sure hope so.
And I want to get this independent medical evaluation done, and then you check that box off, and then move forward. And I hope you give yourself permission to do that. And if you have history here with these folks that has been painful to you, I hope you find it in your heart to forgive that. And if you can do that, I mean, it sets you free. And if you, as I said, if you need something going forward, you pick up the phone, and I'm a dial away, and we'll go from there. How's that?
I appreciate that very much.
All right, good. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today. If you want more information on today's show, you can log on to drphil.com. And as I leave now, I'm going to ask Andrew to go with me and meet my wife, Robin, because she's been sitting out there like this the whole time. falling in love with you, so she wants to meet you and say hello. So come with me, buddy, and I'll introduce you to my wife. This is my wife, Robin.
Such a pleasure to meet you. I'm so proud of you. It's such a beautiful job today.
Still have this one.
Okay? What a beautiful job. What's your girlfriend's name?
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, a televangelist scandal.
You had an affair, correct?
The unanswered questions.
Are you sorry for what took place, or are you sorry you got caught?
Why did he risk losing his wife?
There were days that I screamed and I cried.
Did you blame yourself for this at all?
And his ministry.
Do you feel like you betrayed your followers?
God betrayed everybody.
But you knew that would be the effect when you did it. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
It matters to you. That's what I want to talk about. Are we ready in the booth? Let's do it.
Prominent televangelist who claims today that he is the victim of a multi-million-dollar extortion scheme.
We are here today to celebrate the goodness and the grace of God.
Marcus Lamb, who has co-founded the Dallas-based global Christian network Daystar Television, says that 3 people wanted cash to keep quiet about an affair that he had with a woman several years ago.
When we were threatened and this $7.5 million demand was made, we didn't consider for 1 second to pay it.
With that threat, we knew we're going to go ahead and share our story.
Well, it was just last week that Marcus and Joni Lamb, founders of Daystar, the fastest growing Christian network in the world, went public about an affair that Marcus had several years ago. Now, first, let me say hello to you guys. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm sorry for the circumstance. And I probably should say, for the viewers, just so they know, we know each other. I certainly consider y'all friends, and Robin and I have both been on Marcus and Joni's Daystar Network a few times. Take a look, and then we'll talk.
You had no idea that this door of opportunity would open up, say, what, 10 years ago?
No, I had no intention of, being on television. I truly believe that everything I've done in my life up until now has prepared me for this moment in time.
America is screaming for role models of established marriages for men and women who truly love each other. And so, I think that's why you get the response that you do from people. They love seeing that.
I always find it odd that some people will say to me in such shock that I'm there every day, you go to every show, and I always think to myself, why is that so odd? I wonder what kind of relationship maybe they have that they find it odd I would support my husband, because that's what I'm doing every day. I'm there to support my husband.
Y'all have a terrific show. You have a terrific ministry and Christian network. And now all of this has happened. Now, I understand that at the end of November, you were the target of a demand. You had an affair in the past, correct?
Yes, sir. These 3 individuals came forth and said, if you don't pay us $7.5 million, then we're going to take our information to the media.
Mm-hmm. So this alleged attempt was to extract millions of dollars from y'all under the risk of bringing you down. And Joni, you were very strong about saying, not going to do it. We're going to go out. We're going to talk about this and just put it out there for everybody to see and hear.
Yes. On the day that I found out, I came home. He was flying in from a trip, and I had been one of those people that always said if my husband cheated on me that I would divorce him. I was one of those hardliners. And I just remember, that we're people of faith, obviously. And so the only thing I needed to do at that point was to pray, and that's what I did. And when I did, I really sensed in my heart that God was saying to me, he's worth fighting for, and your marriage is worth fighting for. And so...
And Dr. Phil, when Joni approached me with this information, I was in such despair. I thought, I've lost my marriage. I'm going to lose our children. I'm going to lose the ministry that God had entrusted me with that was so dear. But when she said those words that the Lord had spoken to her and said, Marcus is worth fighting for, it was a glimmer of hope in my heart. And that's when I said, Joni, I'll do whatever it takes to make this right and to heal the hurt.
Now, I had that calm and peace for that moment, Dr. Phil, but later I did not have the calm.
You got hot about this, right?
Yes.
I mean,
and rightfully so.
Oh, yes.
You got plenty mad.
Oh, I did, because immediately the day after we went and called Fred and Anna Kendall, who are counselors who we knew that had helped so many marriages. But oh yeah, I mean, it was a very hard and difficult process that we went through for about 9 months to a year. But we wanted to do that privately. And one of the things that Fred...
Well, our counselors had advised us to do that.
Yeah.
They said it would be very difficult to heal if we brought that to the public's attention at that time.
Well, let's talk about this. I mean, because there are two different points that we have to discuss here. One is you're in the public eye, not just as celebrities, but as people of faith that are ministers that are leading people. And so folks can feel a sense of betrayal that, you know, here you've been up talking all of this high-minded, faith-based rhetoric, and in fact, you're sneaking around having an affair. You know, that's one level that you have to think about. And then the other is what happens between the two of you. Do you feel like you betrayed your followers?
Well, I feel like I betrayed everybody. I betrayed the Lord. I betrayed Joni, my family, our followers, and I'm so sorry for that.
But I've known you a long time, and you knew that would be the effect when you did it. What did you say in your head that made it okay in the moment?
Well, it was, you know, a long process, and it was just a gradual thing, and finally you just get to a point to where you get into deception, and you make a choice that you don't realize the ramifications of it at the moment.
Well, I think it's important. One of the things we learned in counseling is that, I mean, early on it was an emotional relationship. I mean, there was no sex involved for years. It was just an emotional relationship where there were phone calls, there were emails, that kind of thing. And you know, as we worked through this process, I think that was one of the things that, you know, became apparent for both of us, is that accountability is so important in marriage. So, you know, we have access to each other's computers and phones and, you know, all of the Facebook and all of the social networking that we have available today that are destroying a lot of marriages. You know, that's why we, you know, we have that accountability with one another. But I think that was an important part of it, to understand that, you know, he's someone who would say, I never thought I would be caught in that trap.
That's right.
In a million years. I mean, he was someone that would say that. We've helped, I mean, hundreds of couples over the years. But I think it was that emotional tie that started it, and then eventually became sin.
How'd you find out?
There was an individual that cared about me and cared about him that had some information where they believed that this could be going on, and they came to me and shared the information with me, and I confronted him the same day.
And you knew this woman?
Yes.
Because you said you had recognized something wasn't right early on. Well, what did you, because women want to know, what did you say to yourself
well,
about
when
that?
we were at home and stuff, there would be times when there would be phone calls, or he'd be in his office, or he'd be on his computer, and he seemed to be very protective of his computer. And so, but I had no idea that it was anything beyond something emotional, but we began to argue about that near the end, right before I found out.
So when you did find out, it was like, aha, all
Yes.
that fell into place.
It did. It was still shocking for me, though, to deal with.
Why did y'all want to be here today?
One reason, and it is why we do what we do every day, and that is to encourage people that you can make it through even something what we've gone through, and that marriage is worth fighting for, and that marriage is not just a commitment between a husband and a wife, but it's a commitment between a husband and a wife and God. And it's, for us, people of faith, it's covenant. And also to, you know, I'll just say this, from the time that we went through this and even went through the years of our process of healing and restoration, I did so many shows on this because I became passionate about helping people. And I'd always wanted to help people, but I became passionate about marriage. And so, you know, some of the issues that we dealt with was pornography and adultery and, you know, all of the things that, that people are going through today. And I think the church, for so long, you know, we just want to pretend like these things don't go on in the church, but they do. And I think it's, you know, it's time for us to speak up and speak to it and talk about it and try to help people.
Why did you never come forward with this before this alleged extortion attempt?
Well, Joni and I wanted to have plenty of time to heal. We wanted to have a track record of living right and doing right. Plus, our children were young, and we wanted to spare them the pain of this until they could at least be old enough to be able to handle it better.
Would you have eventually talked about this?
Yeah, we talked about that. We wanted to share our story. And I don't know when exactly that would have been at the, you know, 5-year mark. But we've always shared everything with our audience, so that was something that I knew that we would do. And you can see things that we've said and done, you know, over these last several years, where now if you knew our story, you look back and you go, oh, that's what she's talking about. Because I would talk about it, but I wouldn't talk about it. And so it was definitely a part of everything that we did, and it definitely impacted us in such a powerful way that we wanted to help others through it.
And Dr. Phil, you asked, why would we come on your show? You know, so many other shows have invited us, but most of them, it's a sensational angle. But we know how loving and redemptive you are to help people, and we felt safe to come and share. My heart is, if I have to be humiliated to help prevent somebody else from getting in a situation like this, or if they're in a trap right now, that maybe this will give them hope and they'll get out of that trap and they can be healed, then that's why we're here to share today.
So you want to use this to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and
sir.
Toward that end, I've got some hard questions for you, and I got a problem with a couple of things you've had to say, and I'm going to tell you what that is right after the break.
Okay, here we go.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. Overweight teens harassed at home.
You had a tuna sandwich, French fries, fried chicken. I intended to make her aware.
You couldn't be more destructive to her efforts to lose weight if you had been hired to undermine her.
Now they're fighting back.
Jennifer would like to go to one of these fat camps.
My dad will say, oh, we don't have money.
That was a lie, wasn't it?
I didn't trust that she would follow through.
The truth was you didn't believe in her.
That's tomorrow.
Marcus Lamb, the head of Daystar Television Network, told viewers that 3 people tried to extort millions from him to keep this affair private. During the broadcast, Lamb apologized for the affair and had a message to viewers.
I'm so sorry. I've asked God to forgive me years ago. I asked my precious Joni, I said, honey, I'll do whatever it takes to heal the hurt and right the wrong. I take 100% responsibility. Joni has no blame. The other person doesn't have any blame. It's all, I don't even blame the devil. It's all on me.
Well, Marcus had this affair several years ago, and when Joni confronted him, they reached out to Fred and Anna Kendall, who have been counseling couples on marriage for over 30 years.
When we first met with Joni and Marcus, I said, Joni, do you want to make this marriage work? And she said, absolutely. Then we turned to Marcus. Now, what I was looking for in Marcus, would he be transparent?
He opened up immediately. He was totally transparent and was, like you said, taking 100% responsibility.
I've dealt with men in ministry and men in leadership and other positions who got into situations like that. And most of the time, I'm sad to say, most of them are not very transparent, and they're very protective of their image. I really bared in on Marcus, because Marcus was the key. And if he's not going to stand, he needs to fall.
Well, if you're just joining us, I'm here with Joni and Marcus Lamb. And I've said up front that these are folks that I consider friends of mine. I've known y'all for a number of years now. And, you know, you guys all know I consider myself very much a Christian. There are televangelists on television that I think are why we have remote controls. We can just keep on moving. And then there are those that I think are real and come from the heart, and that includes Joni and Marcus. I'm a great fan of theirs, as is Robin. But sometimes we get to thinking that because someone is a minister, someone is leading a congregation, that they're above the problems of the world. And that's just simply not true. And we're here talking about the fact that Marcus has had an affair. When this happened, they reached out for help to Fred and Anna Kendall here. You guys you've counseled thousands, actually, of couples.
Yes. Fred has probably counseled over 10,000.
Yeah,
but
a lot.
that's because he's really old and he's been around a long time.
So, did these guys get real when they came in and sat down with y'all?
Yes. Well, the first thing I wanted to find out right away was, were they willing to work at it, one or both of them? Because we believe a marriage can be saved if just one of the parties wants to work of it. It's possible to save a marriage. And if both want to, you know, it's almost a home run if both will be then. They'll work at it and then be accountable.
Right.
And I wanted to find out if Marcus was going to be transparent and he was going to be repentant. I mean, you know, sorry for the whole thing. Then I wanted to find out if Joni could forgive him, because unforgiveness creates a root of bitterness. You know, they just get bitter, and it doesn't get better.
Okay, and the question a lot of people are going to ask is, are you sorry for what took place, or are you sorry you got caught? I mean, because those are two very different questions, and you know, a lot of people are going to have that question in their mind. How do you answer that question?
Well, I'm sorry it took place. It was the worst decision of my life.
Here's the thing. You all say that you want to help folks here, and I know that to be true because I know y'all. And I can tell you the best way you can do that is to be real about it.
Yes, sir.
Because I was so glad, Joni, to hear you say, you bet I got mad. At first I had this moment of calm and peace, but then I got plenty hot. I was mad. I was really upset. Because, I mean, if women are out there watching this and watching you, I would hate for them to say, well, you know, that's just not real. You just don't sit down and have a moment of prayer and meditation and everything is okay. Because then they're going to say, well, I must not be a Christian. I must not have faith. Because that ain't the way I feel. I wanted to set his hair on fire when he was in bed, you know. And so I'm glad to hear you be real about your emotions about that.
Well, you know, and one of the things we do is me and the Daystar singers and our band will go minister inside the prisons, and we recorded one of our CDs, in fact, worship CDs, inside one of the largest women's prison in America. But I kiddingly told him that if the Lord hadn't given me that calm for that day, I would now have a prison ministry inside, you know, because I would have joined the ranks. But yeah, I mean, after that, I went through all of those stages that you know about. I mean, I was first shocked, and then, you know, I was hurt, and then I was angry. And Fred kids with me still today that I lived in Camelot, and I found out Camelot really doesn't exist. But I lived there for a while, you know, thinking our world was perfect. But it's not, Dr. Phil. And, you know, there are so many men and women that are hurting, and you know, I can relate to some of that, because when there were days that I screamed and I cried. I think I might have thrown some things. I mean, when he and I were alone and, you know, screamed, "How could you do this, you idiot?" You know, I mean, I did all of that.
And I was an idiot.
And he had to, I think the hardest thing for him was to watch me go through that.
Yes. One of the things that I truly believe is if you ever get past this, and you say you want to get to where you feel strong, you feel restored, you're never going to do that if you do several things. And I think you're doing some of them. And that can create obstacles. Number one, if you ever try to trivialize this, then you'll never get past this, because trust me, she doesn't trivialize this in any way. This is a full-on problem, right? And I looked at some of the things you said. You said, well, it started out as a dependency, then it became a mutual affirmation, then an emotional involvement, then minimal sexual contact. That's like being minimally pregnant. You know, you either are or you aren't. And I would hate for you to try to minimalize that or trivialize that, because that would be an affront to you. if that happened. And I think that's important. And you feel like he has acknowledged this fully, Fred?
I really do. I think it's easy in discussion to kind of go around along the line, because that's how it progresses. But that's how anything negative usually progresses. Most of us don't start off, we wake up one day and say we're going to go out and commit adultery or shoot somebody. It begins as a buildup.
Do you think at times, a part of you tries to trivialize this?
Dr. Phil, I can't say anything good about myself, but I don't feel like I have. I was just trying to explain how the process started, because I think if people can see where those first steps are, then it can be a warning sign to them. Hey, when you start seeing these kind of things happen, you better stop right there and re-examine yourself.
Yeah, because you said on the tape, you said, I don't even blame the devil for this. This was my choice, my free will, I assume your choice. But yet you told us when you were talking about it, it was a sneaky way the devil did this. It's a sneaky way the devil did this. You know, the devil made me do it.
Well, no, this is not a Flip Wilson, the devil made me do it moment. The devil does influence, but we have free will. I made the choice. I was wrong. It's my fault, and I'm so sorry I did.
Yeah, and I think that, I guess what I'm saying is you don't want to model any deflection on this, because at one point you said at least it was with a Christian woman and not some transvestite.
I didn't say
I'm the one that made that statement.
Was that your statement?
I made that statement because
one of y'all said that. And
let me tell you why I said it.
What in the world? What did I miss here?
Let me make sure the audience here and there and wherever understands why I said that. So often, people begin to have vain imaginations and they connect it back to other people. And I've worked with some other ministry people who have had involvement with men, and they were men themselves, or they had involvement with women from the straight or for strippers or massage parlors or from, just hookers.
Or transvestites.
Or transvestites. And then they really felt exploited, poor guy. But let me tell you, I don't want anybody out there to think that this was anything other than him and one woman who was a Christian woman, we hope, and we hope he was a Christian at the time, and I believe he was. And I want you to know this, I've dealt with some pretty tough people in my life. We do a lot of work for law enforcement, and I spent 11.5 years in the Marine Corps, and I was a probation officer in California, and California has some bad people, not many. And so
ease up on California here.
Well, I said not many.
All right, go ahead.
And I want you to know, I believe I know the difference between being embarrassed, ashamed, sorry that I got caught, sorry that I'm hurting other people. Gee, I'm going to tell you, I really sincerely believe and began to believe after about the 4th session. Now, I didn't start there, but about the 4th or 5th session, I told Ann, I said, I think he's genuinely sorry. I think he is ill almost over grieving God, most of all, then over damaging his wife and over the fact that this could ruin them. And, we went through some steps, and the last step that we went through was, next to the last was, first of all, keep it private as long as you can, because when people are sick, they need to be in intensive care.
Give themselves some time to heal.
Give themselves some time to heal. And we set up an accountability that included her mom and dad and some other people.
Including us.
And then I said, be prepared. Somebody's going to want to exploit it one day. Be hyper vigilant. Somebody will try to exploit it. And when they do, go public. That's the time to go public. But don't rush it. Get well.
Next, a question for Marcus I want him to answer with 100% honesty.
Joni and I had such a wonderful marriage for so many years.
And next to me is my sweetheart.
I just assumed that I would never do anything in an improper way. I always thought that would never happen to me.
People ask me all the time, Dr. Phil, can relationships survive infidelity? Mm-hmm. And my answer is always, of course they can, yes. But as Fred and Anna say, it takes two people. It takes you being willing to forgive and not make it a life sentence, and it makes you owning it and realizing that until she knows
And forget about being ministers for a minute. I'm just talking to just you two, you this couple. Unless she knows that you get it, that you get what this did to her, not as a minister, but as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, unless and until she knows you get it, she will never, ever be able to turn this loose.
Yes.
Unless she knows you get what this did, what message it sends to her, what questions it causes her to ask herself as a woman and a wife. And I sense that you do get that.
Thank you.
Do you?
Yes, sir, I believe I do.
Do you know what this did to her?
Yes, sir, I do.
You know, I think that me having to watch, you know, and be in the counseling sessions with, because Fred, as you can see, former Marine, is not going to be easy on him. But, you know, watching that process, I mean, he was genuinely repentant, and I watched, you know, him watch me, and I know that was the most devastating thing for him of all, to watch me go through what I went through. And, you know, Dr. Phil, if he had been an abusive or, you know, husband, or been mean, or, you know, not supportive, or, you know, we've been married 28 years, that 20 plus years that he had been a wonderful husband and has been a wonderful father, you know, I don't know that I could have fought for him to the degree that I did had I didn't have all of that history. So we had a lot of history.
Did you blame yourself for this at all?
Well, I mean, initially, don't you think all women do? They're like, what in the world? I mean, we're supposed to have this great marriage. But one of the things I found out in counseling is, not that I take any of the responsibility away from him, because he owns 100% of the responsibility, and that's something that Fred and Anna made clear at the beginning. But what I did find out is about myself, and this was why I was writing my book. All this happened, by the way. You may not want to write a book on surrender. So as I'm writing my book, I changed some things in the marriage chapter, and I talked about, you know, how that we had rededicated ourselves again to one another. But I got really busy working for the Lord. I was doing my own show. I was co-hosting a show with him. I helped, you know, lead a band and worship singers, and we travel, and our kids were teenagers. I was really busy, and we had always been so connected, but somewhere along the way, we got disconnected.
Okay, but that is a marriage issue. That's not an infidelity issue. And there are two different things here. And because I wrote down something you said, and I quote,
okay,
we weren't really having problems in our marriage, but, and but's a big word for me. That means forget everything I just said. Now I'm going to tell you what I really mean.
Okay.
You said we weren't really having problems in our marriage, but I was so busy working and raising kids that when Marcus came home, I really didn't have a lot left to give. That makes me think that you're saying that you own part of this, that if you had been a better wife, if you had had more to give, if you had been, if you had been more attentive or affectionate or engaging, that perhaps this wouldn't have happened. Because that's what you said.
Yeah.
But that's not true, right?
I think he has to take 100% responsibility.
Yes.
But, there it is again. However, made that better than but?
No, that's just but version 2.
Okay.
Just put a period there and start a new sentence.
Okay, a new sentence is, I think a marriage is two people, you know, giving 100%, and it's something you have to work at. And those are some areas, although they're not related to his infidelity, those are some areas that I needed to improve in, and I think have made a difference.
No question in my mind
Okay.
that,
Is that better?
It's a little better. Because you put in although, you've been but, however, and although, and I read those pretty much the same.
Okay.
Read those pretty much the same. And my point is, and I want all women to hear this. This is the reason I'm picking on you with this.
Okay.
is there are marriage issues. Could you have been a better wife? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Could you have been a better husband? I'm sure. Those are things that you negotiate within a marriage.
Right.
But once somebody turns away from their partner, once somebody turns outside the marriage and involves an interloper, now you're on a whole different ball game. That doesn't have anything to do with how tired you are when you get home from work. That has to do with you making a very immature decision, a very hedonistic decision to do something that feels good at the time, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever you might do to distort it. But that has nothing to do with this. And then you went on to say, Marcus and I both came to the table and said we were going to work through this and ask the Lord to restore where we got off the track.
Where he got off the track.
I assume you weren't with him when he did this.
That was a typo.
Yeah, that's a typo. Okay, they hit the W. Yeah. So I'm picking on you here, but this is, okay. And I want you to pay this forward.
Okay.
Because there wasn't any we got off the track. Now, we might have done some things to make the marriage better. We might have communicated better. We might have done some things, but he went across the street.
Yes. Amen.
Yes.
Okay, that's...
I agree with you fully. And we
Can I get an amen here?
Amen.
You got it. Right. Coming up, what happened when Marcus and Joni told their children about his affair?
Several years ago, Marcus and I went through a challenge in our marriage.
I thought that my marriage was now over, that I would lose our children.
There were days that I screamed and I cried, and on the other side of this pain, we are better individuals than we were before.
I'm so glad that you did come here to talk about this, because number one, you're being honest, and this is part of the truth, and you're not holding yourselves up to be above everyone else. And, you know, ministers serve. They serve.
They do.
And you know, that's, you don't have to be above. You serve, and y'all are so good at doing that. And secondly, I want people to see that time having passed since this happened, that couples do heal.
Yes.
They do survive. They do keep their families together. They do continue to lead their children. I read 2 emails from your daughters that were as eloquent as anything I've ever seen. I mean, saying, we know who you are, and as you go forth and talk about this, just know that the people that matter know who you are.
Yes, that's true.
And your daughters stepped up and said, Dad, go hold your head up, because we know who you are, and you came through this, and we're proud of you as mom and dad.
Praise God.
And I mean, that's everything, right?
Yes.
So it's darkest before the light, and it is a story of inspiration and victory here, because you two have done the work with these able counselors here that put this thing back on track. Next, why this counseling couple almost called it quits.
Dr. Phil, there is something so powerful about having come through something like this that gives you so much faith and hope for other people. Fred and I had a horrible marriage some years back. We've been married 45 years now, but we had one of the worst marriages that we've ever seen. But because it is healed and forgiven, and we're strong.
You wanted to divorce him, right?
Oh yes, I filed for divorce. He was a jerk, and I was medicating it with outside relationships and a lot of alcohol.
Ask her about the day they came back from the honeymoon.
Tell us about the day you came back from the honeymoon.
Okay, he just got off active duty in the Marine Corps, which he ended up having 11 and a half years in there. So if that gives you any idea. And I started realizing that he thought that I was his recruit and his job was to shape me up. So the morning after our honeymoon, he wakes me up and says, sweetheart, wake up, here's your schedule. And I look at it and it says 0500 coffee and rolls. And I looked over. Yeah, I looked over and something's percolating there. And then it said 0515 sex. Then I think it was
You got to schedule the important things.
and it was probably 0520. No, a little bit longer than that, but 0.
Oh, no.
Okay, it was probably 0545 calisthenics. And then we were going to get up and go downstairs and have breakfast. And I looked at him, and I looked at that list, and I said, you have got to be kidding. And I threw it across the room, went back to sleep, and that was his first clue that we might have some differences.
Yeah.
And then it got to the place where I called him. I said, you think you're the commander-in-chief of the universe? And he did. And he was very controlling and dominant and difficult. And the more I pulled away and started doing things he didn't approve of, the stronger he got in that dominance and control, to the place that I started medicating and filed for divorce.
Yeah, and I assume that got your attention.
Well, one of the best things that ever happened to me, I've had many good things happen, and all of them usually were bad. And one of them was her drinking, running around. I didn't like any of her boyfriends.
I thought he was narrow-minded.
Two of them I encouraged.
While you were married?
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of boyfriends?
Several, yeah.
Two of them went to the emergency room for just a visit or so. But one of the things that happened is I came to the realization that I needed to be somebody besides who I was. It's kind of like an AA wake-up. I needed a higher power than just me or just the Marine Corps. So I came to the realization that if I wanted this girl to love me, I had to become her servant and her hero. So I decided I'd identify the enemy, and it wasn't her. Because, you know, in Vietnam, we got confused who was the enemy. We became neurotic and psychotic. So I decided she wasn't the enemy. I decided that I needed allies. And then I decided I need to give her grace.
And y'all were able to forgive each other. Have you been able to forgive Marcus for this?
Yes.
I mean, fully and completely.
Completely and totally.
Dr. Phil, many months into it, I said, how much do you trust me? And what did you say?
Well, I mean, starting off, it was lower, you know, like after we had been to several months of counseling, it was, you know, what, 30, 40%. And then every day after, not every day, but weekly, he would say, what percentage do you trust me now? And so I said, now this many years later, it's 99.9. So I'm just holding out a sliver there.
Well, that's
wisdom.
Yeah, that's wisdom. We'll talk about that when we come back. Joni and Marcus Lamb head Daystar. It's the fastest growing Christian network in the world today, and for good reason. Because they talk about real things with real people and bring a message of faith and hope and healing. And they're not above the challenges of life. Marcus had an affair, and that all has come out just in recent times. Fred and Anna Kendall here have counseled them across time because, as I've always said, marriages can survive infidelity. Is this marriage going to survive?
We're going to survive. I mean, he tells me every day that since I've forgiven him, I'm stuck with him for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So.
Now, at the time that some of this took place, you stepped down as far as actual...
From preaching.
From preaching. Is that still the case?
No, sir. I am back preaching. However, I am submitting to the denomination that has ordained me, and so that will mean that I will step down for at least a year from preaching, and then a second year I will be on probation, and that's just part of the consequences of sin.
Because they're just now finding out about it, because again, Fred and Anna felt like it was important that we have that private time to heal. I think that was really important for us, that we have that time. And so we don't feel that, you know, and he doesn't feel like he, just because he's the head of a network, that he, you know, should not submit to the denomination that we both grew up in.
But during that time, you will be missed.
Thank you.
I can tell you, you will be missed. Final question. How do you feel about these people that you say have tried to extort millions of dollars from you?
Well, you know,
where do you put them in your mind and heart?
You know, that's something we'll have to work through because we know all of the people, and one of them in particular, without telling a lot of detail, she knew about our challenge years ago and the crisis, but she also knew that I chose to forgive Marcus and work on saving our marriage. So, you know, to put those two together and to think that she would come back years later, you know, and say, by the way, I know a secret and about Marcus Lamb, and I'm going to go to the media if you don't pay us $7.5 million. I mean, how do you wrap your brain around something like that? And, you know, I'm just glad that we can share our story. I'm glad to tell our story. You know, let the chips fall where they may, because you're always going to have people who love you and people who hate you and people who judge you and people who don't. But I mean, all you can do is tell the truth and then take your pain and use it to try to help someone else, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, I commend you all for coming here. I commend you for being so open and honest about this, and for providing a real-world circumstance of overcoming this challenge and keeping this marriage and this family together. And thank you all for the help that you've given them as well. We'll be right back. Well, I want to thank Marcus and Joni Lamb of Daystar Television Network and their marriage advisors, Anna and Fred Kendall. Now, they are actually from the Life Languages Institute, which is a terrific, terrific organization. I'm going to put a link up on our website so you can find their organization, because they have an awful lot to offer. And Joni did not ask me to do this, but nonetheless, I'm going to. Everybody in the audience is going home with a copy of Joni's book, Surrender All. Now, Robin and I have read this book. I highly, highly recommend this, and it's a wonderful time to be reading this. It is a very uplifting and inspiring book. You did a great job on this, Joni, so thank you for doing that. All of y'all are going to go home with a copy of it. Those of you at home can find it and should, because I highly recommend it. For more information on today's show, go to drphil.com, or you can reach me on Facebook, or you can tweet me on Twitter. I'm all over the place. Thanks for being here. So long.
Today on Dr. Phil.
Would she let you go out with friends?
No.
There are 6 quick ways.
Are you jealous of her?
Absolutely.
To ruin a marriage.
How's your sex life?
Terrible.
This couple.
Did you shove her to the ground when she was 9 months pregnant?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. All the kids saw it.
Has done all 6.
You would promise me you would never put your hands on her. You broke that promise.
See, keep your nose out of our marriage, but you don't know when to shut up.
Let's do it. If we're going to do something here that matters, then we got to deal with the truth.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, 3, take.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Well, you want to listen up, because today we are talking about the 6 quickest ways to ruin a marriage. These are efficient. You do these, you'll have it in the ditch in no time. You may already be there, so maybe if you reverse these, you can get out of the ditch. Grab a pen and paper, log on to drphil.com right now. I want all of you at home, I want you to take a marriage inventory on your own relationship. You guys can do it in the audience here as we go along. Here's a checklist. If you're dealing with just one of these issues, consider yourself lucky, because my couple today, I've graded their paper, and they're kind of messing up on all of these. All of them, 6 out of 6.
Now, the first way to ruin a marriage is control or abuse your spouse. Denise says she has to walk on eggshells around Rick and can't even use the word controlling without setting him off. Take a look.
I think Rick is very controlling.
Everything I do is through him or for him or by him.
I get upset when I'm being accused of being controlling because I'm a take charge and I'm a leader.
My mother had made a reference to him being controlling. He told her that she was nothing but a he was going to fight her in the front yard. The last time the police were here, he disconnected the home phone and took my cell phone and took the computer, took my keys. The cops came, and I guess they considered it a hostage situation because I had no way to get a hold of anybody and no way to go anywhere. Rick can be very violent. He would wrestle me for my phone and hold my wrists back as far as he could possibly go without breaking them.
I took your phone and read it, and then that's when I smashed it. That's not being controlling. I was mad. If I'd had a remote in my hand, I would have smashed it. I did push Denise when she was 9 months pregnant.
I was walking out the front door, and he pushed me to the ground, and all of the kids were in the room.
It's a lot easier to be a than it is to be nice to my wife.
Okay, well, I'm here with Rick and Denise. You've been together 4 years. You've been married a year and a half.
Yes.
Okay, mother-in-law's here. Excited about that?
No.
No? Because you think she's over-involved.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about your son-in-law here?
Well, when I first met Rick knew what Denise had been through, a couple other physical relationships, and he had promised me at that time that he would never touch her, never put a hand on her. It did not take long for that to change.
Yeah. So you think that he's abusive?
Absolutely.
Do you think you are?
No.
You don't think you're controlling? Now,
Not
and
whatsoever.
let me just say something. When you get here, you don't want to waste it. You got to be willing to be completely, brutally honest. Are you willing to do that?
I am.
Are you willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Then let me ask you again. Do you think you're controlling?
No, I don't.
You really don't?
No, I don't.
Are you surprised to hear him say that?
No, he doesn't feel it all.
Is he controlling?
On some things, yes.
I think he's controlling on everything.
Okay. You said on some things, yes. Okay. What?
I don't.
Does he let you control the money?
No, I have no.
Does he let you go out with friends?
No, I don't.
Does he let you go away from the house without tracking you and texting you and calling you to see where you're going?
No.
Does he actually even buy your bras and underwear for
Yes.
you? Okay.
Yes.
If you go for coffee, does he give you a couple bucks for coffee, or does he give you $1.37 because that's what it costs?
Yes.
Okay, so on some things he is.
I would say.
Not really,
Listening
because
to
come
that.
on, look, I'm too old for this. Come on. I ask you, is he controlling? You say in some ways. Okay. I just don't think you're being genuine with me. You've been very honest with us. You gave us some excerpts from your diary.
I did.
Do you know she keeps a diary?
Yes.
Yeah. She keeps these books. And I would never violate this without your permission. But I'm just going to compare what you said then with what you say now. This is what you said to yourself. This may be 2 weekends in a row with no fights. I'm praying because sadly I do fear him. I'd never let him know that. I just did. But then again, that's kind of what keeps me attracted to him. It's twisted. But I do like dominant men, and he is definitely one of them. Okay, so you say he's definitely one of them. And I mean, you write in these things prolifically. On October 23rd, you said, I am so disgusted with myself that I can't possibly be what I should be. Right now, I'm just a shell. I feel just empty. I don't give Rick what he needs or deserves. I don't do for my kids what I should. I have no self-worth. I am completely dependent. I am heart-torn. I'm bitter. I'm angry. I'm alone.
Yes.
So this isn't working for you, right? I guess deep down, what boils down to is I have been beaten down emotionally by him, and I am just bitter now. taking my cell, my keys, unplugging the phone, and pulling the breaker so I have no electricity because, quote, he pays the bills. It just enrages me and pisses me off that he even did that, not once or twice, but on many occasions. Telling me I'm lazy, fat, trash, and to kill myself. Telling me I can leave if I walk because it's his car. Telling me it's his bed. That I am pathetic. I am a pathetic mother. Being a bitch, a whore, a crackhead, cheat, lazy, fat, I just can't take it. Do you do that?
Yes. I've said
do
all
you
that.
consider that abusive?
Absolutely.
Do you consider what she's saying in here to be controlling? It's my car, it's my money, it's my electricity. You do what I want when I want.
Sounds that way.
Or just go kill yourself, you pathetic crackhead whore.
I never said it exactly in those terms.
Crackhead?
No.
You whore?
No.
Okay. So you say I have repressed anger. I hold it in so much that it eats away at me. I've programmed myself to rage rather than to cry. Instead of crying, anger is just easier.
It is.
I just don't want to try to keep someone happy, especially when I am completely unhappy. Completely. He puts me down. He degrades me every chance he gets. He's not my father, and I am done. I am done with everyone. Everyone. That was your wife writing to herself her innermost thoughts in her diary. You proud of that?
Absolutely not.
So I'm going to ask you again, are you controlling?
Yes. I just never looked at it that way. My intentions were never to be controlling, but I let my insecurities and other things get the best of me, so I panic, and that's what I do.
We've got to take a break. Snooping, checking cell phones and Facebook accounts, it's all part of the second quickest way to ruin a marriage. Are these guys jealous? Are they insecure? Because it sounds to me like they don't want to have anything to do with each other. So why guard it so closely? Do they? We'll find out when we come back.
I'm a firm believer that if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't worry about somebody looking at something.
Rick always believes that she's got another man, so he needed to see her text. So he flipped her up in the air, and she came down on her head.
I want you to take this checklist at home. It's on the internet right now, drphil.com. You can click on it, take it as we go along. The second quickest way that you can destroy a marriage is to define your relationship with jealousy and insecurity. I gave you a bad mark on the first one. Should I give you a bad mark on this one?
Absolutely.
Because I just
Myself
did.
too.
Big red X right in the box. If he is all of these things, why are you concerned if he's off with somebody else? If I truly felt that way about my spouse, I'd be introducing her around. Hey, come over here. She's pretty cute, right? You know, hey. I mean, what are you guarding so jealously?
I don't know. I think I worry that he's going to do things because he's so unhappy with me. That I think that he's going, and that bothers me.
But you want to save this marriage that has you feeling so completely empty, so hollowed out, such a shell that you don't even know who you are anymore. You want to hang on to that and save that, right?
Right, I want
Please don't leave me.
things to change.
Stay here and make me miserable. Does that make common sense to you?
I just want things to change. I think I'm just hoping things will change between both of us. I mean, we both have plenty of things.
Yeah. Are you jealous of her?
Absolutely.
You think she's running around on you?
I don't think she will, but it's you still can't. Your mind tells you things, and
Do you check up on her a lot?
yes.
Did you say, and I quote, I hope you get fat so nobody will want you?
Yes, I did.
Really, forget about being on the Dr. Phil show. Forget about the doctor and Phil. This is just a couple of old boys talking. Do you really think that's going to make a woman attracted to you?
Oh, no. No.
I hope you get fat, and then nobody will want you. Well, you know she can't be calling anybody because you control that. When she leaves, if she's having an affair, you're texting her so much.
Would you be concerned if in the heat of our argument, she would say, well, I'm just going to take the van, get in a van and drive it off the cliff or drive it off the side of the road? Yeah, I'm going to take the keys. I'm not going to let her take
That's not why
my
you take
children.
the keys.
Bull.
That is
I'm
not
not
why
going
you
to
take
take.
the
I'm not going to take. I'm not going to let her take my kids, load them in a van, and we live up on the hill and have her drive off the side of the hill. I'm not. It's not worth the chance.
Of course, it's not.
As upset as I am at the moment, I'm not going to let that happen.
Okay, again, just think about common sense. Do you want to have a happy marriage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or are you done?
We're close. I'm close to being done, but I want a marriage, but if she can't butt out, I'm out. I'm done.
We could cut her out, and that wouldn't just happen, would it?
No.
There are other issues, but you're saying she is a toxic element here.
Oh, she's the fuel to the fire. Absolutely.
Is that true?
No. I basically, there's been months that go by that I do not see my daughter. She will call me whenever she has fears, whenever he is at his peak, when she's afraid for her children. She calls me. I'm more or less her sounding board. As far as me visiting, I'm not welcome down there, and you can feel the tension when you walk in. You're not allowed at his home unless he invites you. So my daughter was not allowed to invite me down there. She would need to okay it through Rick first.
If you keep your nose out of our marriage, I would let you come down, but you don't know when to shut up. You don't know when to mind your own business. And that's the way it is. It's our marriage. I married her. I didn't marry you.
Rick,
So
she is
mind your own
my
business.
business only because you had promised me you would never put your hands on her. You broke that promise.
Well, then that's something that her and I have to deal with.
That's not. I
Yes,
fear
yes,
for
it is.
her, and you've
Oh,
got
whatever.
babies involved. There are babies
Whatever.
involved in this.
There were babies involved before this, too.
And you weren't
You
in
don't
the
see the kids.
equation.
You don't make an effort to come see the kids. So why are you even caring
And why
about
do
seeing-
I not make an effort to come and see the kids? First of all, I'm not welcome at your home.
Mhm.
Second of all, when she comes to visit me, she cannot sit and have a 5-minute conversation with me because you are on the phone and she is constantly needing to reply to you. She and I cannot sit and have a 15-minute conversation. She is constantly... No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
Even when you're
The fir-
at
how
my
about,
home...
How about the first couple years that we were together? Who brought her up every weekend or every other weekend? Every single weekend during the summer. I brought her up. We spent the entire weekend, the entire summer at your house, did we not?
And that is
okay,
before
when did
you
it change?
put...
When
it
you butted your
changed when
nose
you
in my
put your
marriage, that's when it changed.
It changed when you put your hands on her. The very time you to the ground when she was married.
She put her hands on me first.
Oh, Rick. She was
Did
8
you
months
not?
pregnant, 9
Did
months
you not?
pregnant.
Did you not?
No. When you pushed me to the ground?
Did you shove her to the ground when she was 9 months pregnant?
No, I did not.
Yes,
I did
you
not.
did.
No, I didn't shove her to the
How
ground.
can you even say that you
No.
didn't? All the kids saw it.
No, there was one
you did
child
it in front of the children.
It was Christmas Day.
Oh,
That's
it was
the
Christmas
day.
Day. Yes.
Whenever
I did
we were
not. I
arguing
did
and
not
I
shove
tried
her
to
to the
walk
ground.
out
I
the
shoved her
door.
when she was heading out the front door. I shoved her. I said, "Continue out the front door."
And
then.
you shoved me, and I turned around and I started swinging at you, and you pushed me to the ground.
No, I pushed you over to the couch because you were swinging at me.
I hit
What do you think I'm
the
going to stand there and
ground.
let you swing at me? No.
You pushed me. You shoved me.
So
out the
Okay,
door.
so that makes it okay
If
then.
you put your hands on me, yeah.
Okay.
It does
So
make
this
it
is
okay.
Christmas Day.
Yes.
Absolutely.
2 Christmases in a row like this.
Well, it's got to be fun for the children.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Look
it's
forward
not.
to the holidays.
No.
And I
it's
think he
sad.
feels that I butt in because he does not want me to know what goes on in the home. And their marriage, their finances, that is not my concern. It is her safety and her children.
You say this about every guy she's ever been with, though. It's the same pattern with
By the
you.
way, I've got to take a break, but let me just say something so it doesn't go in passing. Are you supposed to just let her swing at you? No. You can walk off. You can do whatever you want to do. But you never put your hands on a woman in anger. You just don't do that. A man doesn't put his hands on a woman in anger. It is an unfair fight. And you will lose every time on that.
I agree.
I mean, you just can't do that. We're built differently. We're bigger. We're stronger. You just don't do that. You don't put your hands on
I
a
agree.
woman. There's an imbalance of power. And that is physical abuse, that is domestic violence, and you can go to jail for that. Now, we're going to take the break. I said we have to. We're going to find out why Sandy says she won't rest until Rick is in jail. Now, could he actually be headed to prison? It has a lot to do with the third quickest way to ruin your marriage. I'm going to tell you what that is when we come back.
I take the responsibility of controlling a lot of things. It's up to me to bring the money in.
Whenever I want to go get a coffee from McDonald's, instead of giving me $2, he'll give me $1.37 down to the exact change.
Well, today is your chance to take an inventory on your marriage. We have an example here. So far, Denise and Rick have checked yes to control and abuse and jealousy and insecurity. That's 2 ways, quick ways you could ruin a marriage. And now they can check off lying about money. Denise says she has no clue that they were $100,000 in debt. And now Rick's weeks away from facing a grand jury and possibly going to prison. Take a look.
When I first met Rick, his business was great.
I am a self-employed building contractor.
At one point he was making over $100,000, and now we are struggling to pay everything.
I am currently behind 4 months on my mortgage. There was a point in which the electric wasn't paid for 11 months. We've had to give back our TV and a computer from a rent-to-own place, and I've had a motorcycle repossessed. I've had my truck repossessed several times.
I don't know anything about the finances.
I take the responsibility of controlling a lot of things. It's up to me to bring the money in.
Whenever I want to go get a coffee from McDonald's, instead of giving me $2, he'll give me $1.37 down to the exact change.
He will call in promise payments knowing that there is no money in an account. And by the time the payment goes through, he's gone with the goods.
I've been indicted by the grand jury on 2 counts. One is receiving money under false pretenses, and the other one is receiving money by way of worthless check.
I do worry that he's going to wind up in jail, and that my kids and we are going to be homeless.
Well, number 3 is, do you lie and deceive your spouse about money? It can happen a lot of ways. You say you're under a 2-count indictment right now?
Yes.
Over financial issues?
Yes.
Now, you say he has been deceptive about this.
He was. I found out in June of this year about all of our finances.
All right, well, you've been together for 4 years. You've been married a year and a half. Why are you just a few months ago finding out what's going on in the finances in your family?
He doesn't tell me anything. He
Well, have
deals
you
with
been
all
asking?
the bills.
Do you you can't just be a passenger
I
here.
do.
You have
No.
to take some responsibility for this.
I do ask him, and he's always got it taken care of.
You said you had no clue they were broke until people started calling.
Yes, I had people coming to the house, phone calls about different people that he owed money to that I didn't know anything about.
Well, it's your job to know, but why did you not keep her abreast of these things?
Well, a lot of it was to protect her. I mean, I didn't feel that, why should I put that burden on her worrying about it when she was, we split our jobs. Her job was stay-at-home mom, take care of the family, and mine was to go out and make the money. So I didn't want to burden her with the worry, considering she can't control when the money comes in. She can't control when I get paid.
Were you embarrassed that it was going badly?
Oh, it's been a struggle. Since I took on her and her son, it's been a constant struggle.
Well, are you saying she's the reason you're in financial trouble?
He tells me
You
that
said
all the
since I
time.
took you on.
He tells me that all the time.
It's a lot. It is a lot to take
You
on. It's
tell
hard.
me that all the time, that I'm the reason that you are where you are.
So you're under indictment, so what's the worst that could happen?
It's 1 to 10, with 10 being the maximum.
But you're talking about potentially doing some time.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to jail before?
Yes.
How many times have you been to jail?
Probably 14 times, maybe.
14 times? Mm-hmm. Really? What do you keep going to jail for?
Well, a lot of it is from family court with child support and stuff. It's not exactly something I'm proud of.
No, I'm
by no means, but
I'm sure you're not.
I'm here to be honest. And
well, what do you need to do different here? If you You guys have 5 children between you. This is a blended family.
Yes.
Are you concerned that they're being negatively impacted
Absolutely.
by this relationship and your conduct?
That's why we're here.
Absolutely are.
What do you need to change?
Pretty much everything. I mean, if I'm being honest,
Well, see, there's something you all agree about. You think he needs to change everything about himself. Do you want her to get a divorce from him?
No, I want her to be happy, Dr. Phil, and I want to I want to be ensured that, you know, with Rick's volatile anger, that she's not going to be the subject, the receiving end.
Are you in love with him?
Yes, I am. I wouldn't be here if that's...
But you really are in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you like to see happen?
I want to see us just be normal and raise our kids. You know, it's just a bad relationship all around, and the kids are being affected.
Are you in love with her?
Absolutely.
So you want things to calm down and start having some togetherness.
The normalcy.
Mm-hmm. And
all we do is scream and fight. It's just every day.
It never used to be this way either. It just evolved to this.
All right. I'm going to take another break. Rick says Sandy should butt out of their marriage. I'll tell you what I think about that when we come back.
Her mother told the sheriff's department that I was holding her hostage.
He's telling me to butt out and that I don't need to know what's going on in their home down here. I think Denise would be better off single again.
My mother hates Rick.
There's been several instances where my wife and I were fighting, and her first thing instantly is she tells her mom.
Denise calls me because she doesn't know what to do.
My mother hates Rick. She wants Rick to go to jail.
Her mother told the sheriff's department that I was holding her hostage here. She had promised me prior to that argument that she wouldn't include her mom in our business.
He's telling me to butt out and that I don't need to know what's going on in their home down here. I think Denise would be better off if she was single again.
If Denise and I are having an argument, that's for us to resolve. It's not for somebody else to make this situation worse.
Number 4, do you involve your in-laws inappropriately? That's a yes for Denise and Rick and Sandy. Now, let me say a few words in your defense for a minute, and I believe you need one. We love our children. I've got grown children that Robin and I love very much, and we pay attention to what they do, and particularly if they're suffering in some way, it's hard for you to just sit back and not provide counsel because you want her to be safe, right?
Right.
And when she hurts, you hurt.
Right.
And when she cries, you cry.
Yes.
I understand that.
Absolutely.
You have to respect some boundaries in this relationship. She is a competent woman, and it's unfair for you to run to your mother when you're upset, tell her all the bad things, and then you guys make up and you have a good night. She's not there for that, right? So all she gets is the bad, the bad, the bad, the bad, the bad.
That's what I've said.
So she's getting programmed. I mean, give her a break. All she hears is the bad. And so that's not fair to you. But you've said a lot of things that I believe cross the line. And this is not a worthless human being. He does have redeeming qualities. He does love his children, and he does love your daughter. Now, he's made some really poor choices. I'm not trying to excuse it. I mean, 15 times, come on.
But Dr. Phil, I think you're wrong there. I do not feel that she is competent enough to take, because he overpowers her. The 2 hostage situations alone, when that girl is up on that hill and she has no power because he pulled the landline, and he has smashed her cell phone, and now he has taken her keys, and she cannot walk away from the situation, and now she's trapped in there with 5 kids. How is she able to defend against that?
You're not the solution.
I'm not.
And
I'm not the solution.
You're being awful hard on yourself to say she's not competent, because you raised her.
Yeah.
And so if you weren't good enough to raise her to be competent then why would you be the solution now? If you didn't know how to raise her with enough ego strength and self-worth to stand up for herself then you're not the person I would call to have a do-over.
I'm talking more physical competence.
Okay,
I'm
well,
physically able to
then if
defend
that's the
herself.
concern, then if
Yeah.
you feel like all of a sudden she's gone off the radar and you can't reach her, then you should call the police and
Yeah,
send them up
and
there.
that's what I did.
But it's not. You need to stay out of this.
Right.
There comes a point where you just need to get back to basics here. You look. I would rather go to bed at night in a stripped down, one-bedroom apartment with a window unit and be at peace when I pulled those covers up around my neck than I would be living in a 4-bedroom brick house in some neighborhood that was the site for hell. And I'm just telling you,
That's what we have.
this is a time that you two should sit down and say, you know what? We came together, we formed a union, we made the choice to bring innocent, unsuspecting children into this world that depend on us to nurture them and protect them and provide for them. And we need to do that mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. And for you to be fighting and yelling and screaming in front of these kids and 2 Christmases in a row, it's just been a hellish meltdown. They don't deserve that.
No, they don't. Absolutely
and that means
not.
the 2 of you need to grow up and behave yourselves.
Yep.
The 2 of you need to strip down and simplify your lives.
How do we do that?
Well, look, you do it by going back to square one. If you have to go shut everything down, take bankruptcy, move into a place that you can afford, I don't care if you got 3 kids in a room, if it is a room filled with love, if it is a room filled with harmony, if it is a room filled with a couple that is showing these kids how you deal with difficult times and you love and support each other, then it becomes a teachable moment. And what you're doing now is scarring these children for
Absolutely.
life. And when they grow up with what you're showing them now, their chance of being exactly the same way when they grow up is really, really high.
Yes.
But at some point, you guys have to decide, you know what? We need to stop this childish, ridiculous, yelling, fighting, everyday agenda and be mature enough to put somebody's interest ahead of our own, and that's our children. You need to calm down and shut up with all of this yelling and screaming. All right, we got to take a break. So what Rick does to the kids that has them in tears every morning, we'll talk about that. And I'm going to tell you the 5th quickest way to ruin a marriage. We'll be right back.
My wife Denise constantly undermines me.
You expect them to do everything right now. You get upset about Jada not getting out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and getting up and getting dressed. She's 4.
When I tell you to do something,
You
do
do.
it.
You do expect them to be robots.
Well, we're at number 5 on our marriage checklist. Now, Denise and Rick have a yes, once again, in my opinion, for failing to be a united parenting front. Take a look.
Our largest battle is definitely over the parenting. My wife Denise constantly undermines me.
You want them to be robots. And you expect them to do everything right now. You get upset about Jada not getting out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and getting up and getting dressed. She's 4.
When I tell you to do something,
You do.
it.
When he starts yelling at the kids, he gets to the point that he's degrading them. He usually fights with at least 2 of the kids in the morning before school, and he's got at least 2 of them in tears before they leave.
You think that she is too indulgent with the children?
Absolutely.
And you think he is too harsh with the children?
He's definitely too harsh with the children.
Well, look, children are devious little critters, and they know how to divide and conquer. And this good cop, bad cop, where you say no ice cream, so you give them ice cream. But you say no ice cream, you give them ice cream. I mean, come on. You're confusing the children here. You're fighting in front of the children. That changes who they are.
See, what happens is my daughter, she's a difficult child, and If she's at the table, she's crying because she wants a snack. And if I tell her no, she'll continue to cry. And then he'll walk in and he'll say, oh, but she's your little princess, just go ahead and give it to her, just trying to insult me.
And that's all fun and clever and sarcastic, and you're gigging each other. But your kids pick up the tab for that. They say you have a difficult daughter. I don't wonder. I'm surprised that one of these 5 kids isn't setting the house on fire every day. Because it is absolute chaos. They are living in chaos. Look, kids watch their parents, and this is where they get their modeling. You know, they look at you and they see what you do. They see you yell and scream. They see you yell and scream. They see y'all. They will go mimic that in their lives. And what they need right now is for you two to sit down and say, you know what? We're in a bad spot here. We're in financial trouble. We're in legal trouble. We're in marital trouble. You got to sit down and decide, you know what? It's time to quit being so selfish. It's time to quit running our own emotional agenda. You're in this together. And if you're going to be enemies, then just get a divorce, shut it down, and move on. Now, what do you want to do?
I want to fix things.
Well, then you've got to fix you. You can't fix him. You got to fix you. And part of that is this, well, gee, I didn't know what was going on. Well, pull your head out and find out what's going on. You can't sit back and say, gee, I didn't know we rented this couch for $2 a day. I didn't know that. It's your job to know that. It's your home. You're entitled to know it, and it's your job to know it. And it is your job to not fight in front of your children. Don't do it. And your job is to fix you. At some point, you got to put this right fighting aside. You got to take a leap of faith here. And you got to decide, I chose a partner, and I'm going to work with this partner. And if you don't want to do that, if she's the reason for all of your ills, then
He says that he's never been like this until me. He does blame me for everything.
Yeah, well, but we know that isn't true, don't we?
No.
You might say that in anger, but your life wasn't a smooth run before you got
here. Obviously, I didn't say it. I'm agreeing with him.
You said it last night, though, that you were never like this with anybody else.
I was never abusive with anybody.
Well, that's your choice, not hers.
Oh, I know.
You don't blame her for that, do you?
It's just hard when she pushes. She knows what buttons to push. She's done her math. She's done her homework.
Yeah, I understand, but there is no excuse for hitting a woman. If
I agree.
If she provokes you so much that you can't not hit her, well, you need to get away from her.
I want to set something straight there. I've never hit her. I've never hit her.
Put your hands on her in anger. Throw her down. Push her against the wall. Well, there isn't a difference.
There is.
There is not a difference. And again,
I'm not justifying it. I'm not justifying it. All I'm saying is there's a big difference between defending yourself. If she's coming at me swinging, yeah, I'm going to grab a hold of her hand so she's not hitting me. Trust me, you can't go from room to room in my house fast enough.
You have wrestled me to the ground for my cell phone.
To keep you from hitting me? Yes.
You're a liar, trying to get my cell phone. I wasn't even trying to hit you.
Well, I'm obviously doing a wonderful job. They've obviously heard everything I've said about stopping the bickering and the fighting and the blaming, getting back to basics and deciding that they're going to be partners and take care of these children. So my work is done here. Rick says that Denise treats him more like a roommate than a husband. So I'm guessing that things aren't really heating up in the bedroom. We might as well throw that log on the fire. We'll be right back.
Denise, she's not very affectionate. She's just real distant. We're intimate maybe once or twice a month. Everybody sees love in a different way. Mine is I'm an affectionate person.
He texts me if he's sitting on one end of the couch and I'm sitting on the other end of the couch. He'll text me from the bedroom, from the bathroom, from the shower, just asking me, do you want to watch a movie or do you want to do popcorn? He puts everything in a text message. I just think it's strange.
Well, today we're talking about the
6 quickest ways to ruin a marriage. And my guests today, in my view, are failing big time. The final one in ruining a marriage is to ignore your spouse's intimacy and sexual needs. Number 7 may be go see Dr. Phil, because I've been talking till I'm blue in the face, and they just decided to finish our last segment with an argument and calling each other liars. So, how's your sex life?
Terrible. Surprise. Surprise.
Seriously, my God. Yeah, one of the things that you've got here, a dynamic that's going on, I don't know why I'm saying this, because y'all aren't listening, I'm saying anyway, but because you kind of run things and she doesn't know anything about finances and you kind of dole out the money and all this kind of stuff, that's a parent-child relationship.
I tell him that all the
listen, no woman wants to go jump in bed with daddy. I believe that a couple's relationship in the bedroom is a direct reflection of the rest of their relationship. So you're not like really in the mood, right?
No, and I tell him all the time that's exactly, he's like my father.
Yeah, and see,
that kind of
intimacy is really vulnerability. It's when you let your guard down, you let somebody in close, you share things in a physical way that it's just vulnerability. You're close, and if you've spent all day like this, it's hard to then go like this. And so that's not going to happen until everything else happens. And then when everything else happens, then you're 2 young, healthy people. That will just be a natural flow, because I do believe that you both love each other. You've got to get back to basics. Your life is chaotic right now, right? Mm-hmm. And you need to simplify your life in every way that you can. And you need to have some time that you sit down outside of a fight and say, let's make a plan for this week. And we need to talk about things like sex and money and parenting and see if we can find out what we can agree on. And you need help with this, and I will get you some help. I will get you a professional counselor to work with you as a couple to implement everything that I'm talking about here. And the first thing I'm going to ask them to do is come up with a family plan that is focused on the kids first, how to bring peace to these children's lives. Mm-hmm. And then we'll start working on the other things. We'll be right back. I want to thank my guest today and my studio audience. Go to drphil.com. You can find more information on how to improve your marriage and check out our marriage inventory quiz. And I hope you join our Facebook page where you can share your opinions, and also let me know what you think on the message boards on drphil.com. And let me tell you what I think is going to happen. I'm going to arrange some help for y'all to continue what we did here. And I think they're going to come up with a plan and say, look, we're going to get down to some real simple things. We're going to do some disclosures, make sure everybody knows everything. We're going to have some rules and some boundaries in this house. And one of the things you're going to need to do very soon is sit down with those 5 kids and say, we want to apologize. We want to apologize because we haven't treated y'all fairly. We have gotten lost in our business, and it's spilled over on you guys. And that's no way for us to behave, and we want to apologize for that. And we're going to do better. And the worst thing you can do to those kids is to make that apology and then do the same damn thing the next week. So when you make that apology, mean it. But we're going to be working on that. All right. We'll see you guys again. Thanks for being here, Sean.